ESPN 101 here in town has a W, but their translator or their thing is over in Illinois.
Do you want me to give you the worst one that just drives me insane?
Yes.
Or should we wait?
Oh, I want to hear it now because you do seem a little hot under the collar.
Because I like it, and I love Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
And the acting in it is off the charts, really good. I think it's an actor's kind of show.
Mm-hmm.
They call tornadoes cyclones.
Oh,
It really pees me off.
Yeah. That's an easy one to fix.
Why would you do that?
Because they don't know.
Because they don't know.
They don't know.
And moreover, they don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
I think it is an actor's show. The way it's shot, lots of close-ups and long takes on the actors, even when they're not talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot of cutting. And it seems like it would be every actor gets tons of close-ups. I think they probably really are into it. And in that regard, I think it's really sets a fascinating tone. And so I do like it, and we'll continue to watch it.
Okay.
I thought it was way too dark, but after watching episode 2 last night, I stayed up real late, put the whole family to bed.
Is it dark? Is it raunchy?
It's dark.
I think it's raunchier than dark.
No, raunchy to me is like a college movie. I think this is psychosexual.
Yeah, there are some explicit...
full frontal.
Yeah, some images, but not... It's not pornographic. It's
No.
it's just
Disturbing?
kinda out there on the edge.
But something happened in last night's episode that made me say, okay, I'm going to give it one more go.
Oh.
I think I got, there's a twist coming, I think.
Is it Linda Cardellini?
Oh, my goodness. She played Velma in the Scooby-Doo movie.
But that's her. Did I get her name right?
Yeah.
Her and Bateman are so good, and then the secondary characters are just as good.
Wow.
Richard Jenkins is a great actor. And the young lady I'd never seen before who plays the local detective is really good too.
She is good.
Okay.
I think the whole. I think the acting is.
You gotta
great.
watch it.
Of course, just because it has St. Louis in the title.
You have HBO?
Yes.
Okay.
And meanwhile, real quick, you know, I like all the Taylor Sheridan shows on Paramount and all that. The new one that's now on CBS, Marshals, which is a spinoff. I got to tell you, it's terrible.
Oh,
really? At some point, you've got to run out of great ideas in this.
Here's what I would bet $100 on: that Taylor Sheridan didn't write the scripts.
Really, he just put his name to it.
I think
you got to be careful
part
with that
of his
too.
universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's the opposite of DTF. The actors, except for the lead, the guy that was in Yellowstone, he's good. The acting is terrible.
Wow.
The casting is terrible.
Ooh.
The plots are terrible.
Yikes.
And I had such high hopes.
Yeah, because you're a fan of all of his stuff.
I really am.
I know
Very disappointing.
We had a kind of a girls' weekend at my mom and dad and sister's lake house this weekend. I took, 2 couples, and we were just having a fantastic time. But we were talking, and everybody was talking about Landman. I haven't seen it, but they all love it and are into it, and all of the,
Well, here's another thing about Marshals. Again, on CBS Sunday nights. I'm just going to be trying to be objective about it. But now I would appreciate your take on this, assuming I'm telling you appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
There's a group of marshals. It's a team. 2 females, great, right? They're both 110-pound model types.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not, you give me one for eye candy, okay, but you got to give me somebody that looks like Gina Carano or Ronda Rousey, don't you?
Yeah.
Somebody that can kick somebody's butt.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm just going, it's just not good.
Yeah, our super fan Aaron, Bob, I agree. So disappointed in Marshals. Thought it felt a little flat, and I'm a Sheridan fan.
Yeah. So like I say, actually, if you just want to appease me, bring Gina Carano on the show. I'm on board.
There you go. It's that easy. So we'll talk about the new TV show and what St. Louis gets right and wrong, or what I guess Jason Bateman and the crew do. Then we'll also have an update on, remember Josh shared the story about a car, I think it was a Tesla, that had racked up like 40 grand in parking tickets, and there's been a little movement on that story that Ryan will tell us about. Also, the police board and the mayor still kind of going at it. So we'll get an update on all of those stories. We'll also check in with Don Mahalik. He's the ABC News law enforcement contributor, and we also talked about this over the weekend, at least Marcia and I did, kind of the warnings of Iran operating sleeper cells in other countries and our country. Like, well, that is very concerning.
That bombing thing in New York City,
yes.
Not to get into the politics of it, but the fact that there are people there willing to do that with legitimate ordinance.
Come from Philadelphia to do something like that.
Yeah. I mean, Bob, you have hit a nerve. Also disappointed with Marshals. Agree 100%. Marshals being horrible. I was reading the credits. Taylor shared and did not write it. There's a credit that says the characters are based on Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah, the lead actor, his name escapes me, plays Casey, who was Costner's son. And he's like the last remaining member of the family. In the other show, they're all gone or disappeared or whatever. And he's a good actor. I would say without him, it would be it'd already be canceled.
Really?
Without him, it would be canceled. He's good, though. He's a good actor.
Yeah. In the 5 o'clock, I don't know if you guys watch CBS Sunday Morning as much as the rest of us here, but David Pogue had a great story yesterday, kind of doing double duty because he was kind of looking back at the 50 years of Apple products, the company in general. And David has actually written a book that is just that, Apple, the first 50 years. So he'll join us at about 5:10, and we'll talk about what he learned about the company. And then we'll talk a little sports because the Missouri Valley tournament wrapped up.
How fun was that?
I mean, and all of the men of the sports mind here at the Big 550, you guys all did a fantastic job covering the games and calling the games. But we'll talk about that tournament. Of course, you've got the SEC and the A10 tournament starting this week. And now what? Mizzou and SLU both
stumbling here at the end.
A little weak. Do they have to win these tournaments now? So we'll talk to Brendan about that. The Blues, on the flip side, have won their 4th straight, which is a little crazy.
Very exciting and fun.
Yeah.
And I want to hear what Brendan has to say about that. It's just they get the break, they change some things, they're playing better. It's not going to result in a Stanley Cup.
Right.
But it's better. It's good.
And it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and fun to watch.
I have a theory that so many teams have tanked and gotten rid of all their good players, and the other teams that were good are still going to be good because they got better players. I think the Blues can slip in because they didn't get rid of too much, and they still have their core. And the 2 guys they just got, one got a goal and one got an assist.
I think I don't want to be negative. I hope you're right about that. I think they'd almost have to go undefeated to get into the playoffs. Well, they're way back. But they're climbing. They're climbing over teams already in just 10 days.
It's interesting.
It's good.
Yeah. So that's all coming up. We got some entertainment news, and then we'll wrap this show up with some randoms.
Guys, I have to tell you. You already know because you saw me walking around with the boot. This is a PSA. I don't know if we have the doctor on this week. I think we do.
Yeah, I think
Dr.
we do too. And is this what we're going to talk about with him?
No, because we talked about it last year.
About this time?
Exactly this time. Because I checked my prescription bottle for the drugs I had last year. I still had a refill remaining. My gout has struck again.
I don't know what gout is or what causes it. Is it about what you eat?
It's your diet, almost 100%.
Okay.
It used to be the aristocracy.
All the rich food.
The royalty, eating rich food all the time.
Drinking wine.
And getting joints, in particular, in your feet inflamed.
Ouch.
So it hit my toe, my other toe this time.
And you're in a big boot because of that?
Yeah. You can't even put a sheet on your foot when it's really inflamed.
We all know my old friend Rich Gould, all those years at Channel 11. He would get it occasionally, and it almost immobilizes you.
It really does. And so I went to the urgent care Saturday morning right after the yard sale and got a shot. And my wife Googled it because again, I had a pill bottle from last year, and it has literally the same date, 3/7, on it.
It's crazy.
I was like, and so she chat GPT'd it or Googled it, and they say this time of year. With the shifting weather
I was
and the
say barometric pressure
and all that stuff.
And the weather changing.
The weather changing on a dime because it was cold and now it's 80.
Yeah.
So that does it. But I also have to say, again, another PSA. I had a bunch of wine on Tuesday night last week.
There you go. That is a killer.
And then I was hungover on Wednesday. I had the big arch from McDonald's. I think that's probably
Gosh,
what
I
did it.
wonder, Heidi, what part of his diet can we fix? I don't know. He's Mr. Health.
I know.
I think I know what happened.
Yeah. Man. Okay.
So PSA, public service announcement, it's gout season.
Gout season.
Oh,
you guys,
boy.
I hope after that you'll stay with us. It is 3:29. Time to get a check of traffic. Captain Paul, what are you seeing on the roads?
Heidi, I see an accident on 70 East at 170, blocking the two left lanes with a stop and go back up past Natural Bridge. There's debris on 44 East at Jefferson in a center lane, and the signals are on flash at 64 East and Maryville Center and at 64 West and North 40 Drive. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, I got to tell you, being away just at my parents' lake house, looking out at the water was so enjoyable over the weekend. And it had me thinking about my trip coming up to Iceland. It is going to be so magical, and we still have time for you to sign up. So we're going to go October 23rd, and we actually added an extra day here so that we can spend a little more time in Reykjavik and just walk around this cute city that is a definite must of everybody that I've talked to. But I was talking to a friend a couple weeks ago too, and they went to Iceland 2 years ago, and she was showing me all of these pictures. One of them was like from behind a waterfall, so we don't just get to see the waterfall, we get to kind of take a hike behind it and see all these different angles. And of course, the reason we're going in October, yes, it might be a little bit cooler, but that's when we can really go in search of the magical northern lights. We're doing all of this with Colette, and Colette's going to provide tour guides. So each night we can go out into somewhere new that has the best option to see those magical northern lights. That's just one of the parts. I mean, that's night. During the day, we are going to experience the land of fire and ice with all kinds of fun little things. You've got the lava fields. You've got the massive glacier sculpted mountains and valleys. I mean, everybody that I talked to has been there, like, you have no idea what kind of the area looks like. You've never seen anything like it before. It's almost like you're on the moon because it's all so different than what we see here. You got the black volcanic sand beach. You've got the blue lagoon. But like I said, Colette handles all of it. The flights, the meals, the hotels, all of those local experiences. All you have to do is sign up and join me October 23rd. So you have until March 25th to sign up. Don't miss out. Call our friends over at Altair Travel, 314-968-9600, 314-968-9600. You can also go online to ktrs.com.
This SEC tournament update is powered by Royal Banks of Missouri. The bracket is set for Nashville. It all gets underway Wednesday. Kentucky and LSU, the first game, the 9-seeded Wildcats, the 16-seeded Bayou Bengals. And certainly some relevance when it comes to Mizzou. They'll play the winner of that game Thursday morning, 11:30, right here on the Big 550. Rest of day one looks like this. 12-seeded Auburn, a bubble team right now for the big dance. They take on 13-seed Mississippi State. Texas, the 10, gets 15-seed Ole Miss. Meanwhile, Oklahoma moving up on bracket boards as we speak. The 11-seeded Sooners get 14-seed South Carolina. That's the late game on Wednesday night. This SEC Tournament Update powered by Royal Banks of Missouri. I'm Brendan Weesey.
Royal Banks of Missouri's local mortgage lenders are here to help you unlock the door to your new home. Whether you're searching for your first house or more space for the family, they offer competitive rates and personalized support to guide you on your home purchase journey. Call 314-212-1500 to discover how the Royal Banks of Missouri mortgage team can provide the right home loan for you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Championship week is coming, and with it, Mizzou in the SEC men's basketball tournament. Get a sneak peek of the Tigers' journey through Nashville. Tuesday, March 10th at 7 o'clock. It's powered by Royal Banks of Missouri on the Big 550.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
You've had all these great ideas about what to do with your outside space. Now's the time to take the next step and call Outdoor Living, because Pat Leahy and the gang at Outdoor Living have built a showroom, which is a great resource for you. You can go in and see all the products they have, the composite decking, the metal framing. You see, at Outdoor Living, what they pride themselves on is building it right the first time and never having to worry about it again. So they build it. You can enjoy it for the rest of your life. Outdoor Living, their showroom on Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood, is a great resource for you. You can go and see all the different ways and all the different things they can do. Then they'll come out, they'll do a site visit, and in just a few short weeks, you will have the dream deck, fence, gazebo, pergola, whatever it may be. Outdoor Living, right there in Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. 314-966-3325 or OutdoorLivingInc.com. Check out the showroom and take that next step. You'll love it. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA-certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Watch your favorite team, eat your favorite food. It's the Village Bar. You've heard about the world-famous cheeseburger. Stop by and check it out. Even better, bring your friends on your way to the game, after the game, or just watching the game. Food, sports, and a cold beer. We'll see you at the Village Bar.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Amid the U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran and Iran's retaliation, Frontline is premiering updated versions of two documentaries. James Jacoby is the award-winning director of Remaking the Middle East. He's joining us with the long history between these two countries. Thanks for making time for us this afternoon.
Thanks a lot, Heidi.
So how do you describe our role in this war, America's role?
Well, we're all in on this war. This obviously comes out of a long history of U.S. and Iranian animus, going back basically to the revolution in 1979, but there's always been the nuclear issue. There was the Obama deal that was made in 2014, 2015. President Trump, during his first term, got out of that deal. And then we're basically, it's been kind of a low-grade conflict for a long time that then escalated last June when Israel attacked Iran, and then our bombers took out some of their nuclear sites. And since then, as we tell in the film, there's been a kind of a drumbeat to war ever since. So our role really is a joint operation with the Israelis, and the objective seemed to be to take out Iran's military capabilities.
Yeah, I mean, and you kind of mentioned that there's been this kind of like slow buildup, but is there a specific reason why it's happening now?
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, right? Because there is no evidence of Iran posing an imminent threat to the United States. I mean, there's been no evidence that's been presented that makes a compelling case that there was any sort of imminent threat to the United States. There's been justifications from the administration about what they saw as a threat or an imminent threat, that perhaps Israel was planning to attack Iran, and if Iran retaliated, they might hit U.S. bases, in which case you could make, I guess, the argument that that was a threat. But it would obviously be a threat. But to launch a preventative war here without any clear imminent threat, the big question is why now? And we don't know the answer to that, other than the fact that we know that the Israelis were planning to attack Iran's missile capabilities, and at some point convinced the President of the United States to join in that attack and to go way further than that.
Yeah, James, it seems like it's a really tough trick bag that American leaders have been put in by Iran, as you pointed out, for a couple of decades. President Obama tried appeasement. That didn't work. And now, there's no evidence. And so the president, and really any leader, has to decide, do we wait till we're actually struck? And then obviously it's too late to prevent. I just don't know what the right answer would be in this kind of a situation.
Well, I mean, there have been the diplomatic efforts have worked in some degrees, right? So while it was very flawed, the Obama nuclear deal did basically keep Iran's nuclear program at bay. It had a lot of flaws. It didn't address, for instance, their proxy militias that they've supported in the region, like Hezbollah and Hamas. It didn't address their ballistic missile program, which we've seen has been very robust. But if the big threat globally was a nuclear threat, then the Obama deal did do significant work to set that program back, and that we have the inspectors in place to know if they were making a move toward the bomb. Obviously, President Trump in his first term got out of that deal, and one could make the argument that there have been all sorts of other threats from Iran with those proxies. I'd say that it's best to put this in the context of a post-October 7th world, because Hamas attacked Israel, as did the other Iranian proxies like Hezbollah. And so that really set in motion what we're seeing today, which is basically the Israeli new security doctrine after October 7th is they're not going to allow threats on their borders to build up anymore. And I think that Benjamin Netanyahu and Trump see that eye to eye on that, which is don't wait. However, that is really that opens up a whole can of worms when it comes to the legality of that, and to really what precedent that sets around the world if you have strong countries telling weak countries that we're going to go to war with you unless you do some certain things. So but that is the strategy here.
So you mentioned the proxies of Iran, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and Hamas in Gaza. But what about the rest of the actual countries surrounding Iran, the countries that are inviting people to come in for tourism, Dubai and the UAE and Saudi Arabia and Oman? They're stuck in the middle of this conflict. Are they sympathetic to Iran, or are they sympathetic to more of a Western world now?
Oh, they're much more sympathetic to the Western world. I mean, Israel, has normalized relations with several of the Gulf countries, right? It had been 30 years since there had been any sort of peace treaties between Israel and any Arab countries until the Abraham Accords, which started, the path of normalizing Israel with Arab states. there's a big schism in the Middle East between the Shia countries like Iran and the Sunni countries like Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, all the Gulf states. And so there's been always animus between the Gulf states and Iran, and the Gulf states have entered into these security agreements and economic agreements with the United States and Israel, really to kind of form a counteraxis to what Iran has done in some of the Shia states. So it's a complicated dynamic, but we're seeing, yes, as you said, some of the Gulf states getting caught in the fire where Iran has been retaliating against U.S. assets in those Gulf states, or those Gulf states themselves, like the airports in the UAE and elsewhere, hotels, and really disrupting global trade and travel.
Yeah, we're talking to James Jacoby, an award-winning director of Remaking the Middle East. What message, James, does it send that is Iran sending that the U.S. by naming the slain Supreme Leader's son as his successor?
Well, I think that they're sending a message that they're not backing down, that the U.S. president is saying, that basically he wants Iran to capitulate here. Iran has shown no signs of capitulation ever, really. The revolutionary ideology that started in 1979 is baked into that regime. It was set up to oppose U.S. and Israeli interests in the region, and to repel what they saw as U.S. imperialism in the region. And so there's just no sign of backing down in Iran. Again, you have to put this in an even larger context of Persian history going back thousands of years. This is a very proud civilization that doesn't want to be told what to do by outsiders. So for the U.S. president to say that he wants to choose the next leader of a country like Iran, or wants this leader out, the son of the Ayatollah, the former Ayatollah, it doesn't go over well in Iran, even with people that may be against this regime.
So who is helping Iran out here? I don't want to compare them to North Korea, the Hermit Kingdom, but if you've alienated all of your closest neighbors, how powerful can you actually be?
Well, they do have backing. It's a very important question. They do have some backing from Russia. There's been reports recently about Russia offering intelligence to Iran about U.S. positions and capabilities. The Chinese helped Iran replenish their missile stockpiles after the war in June, when Israel and the United States, mostly Israel at that point, had gone after some of their missile systems. So we're seeing this fracturing of the world in this kind of great power struggle, right, between the kind of China-Russia alliance and the states that they help out, like Iran, and the United States and some of its allies. I mean, the interesting question here, too, is that the Europeans have stayed out of this conflict for the most part. But will they get roped in if Iran starts attacking NATO allies or members of NATO, like Turkey, for instance? So it's a very complicated situation. But yes, I mean, in terms of backing, Russia and China have Iran's back here.
Yeah, well, as you said, there's just so much to know, and you can learn more about this conflict by watching Frontline's updated documentary, Remaking the Middle East, tomorrow night at 9 on 9 PBS. James, thank you so much for joining us and helping us understand this a little more.
Thank you so much for having me.
Recently, a good friend of mine was changing the light fixture in their kitchen, and they took the light fixture off the ceiling, and they looked inside the ceiling and said, "What is the phone number to Michael Baldi?" If they would have listened to me, they would have put Michael Baldi's phone number in their phone, because everybody needs a good electrician on speed dial. So here you go. The next time you need an electrician, you need to remember Michael Baldi and Baldi Electric. So the phone number, 314-968-9999. Indoor, outdoor, an old Victorian home, knob and tube wiring, and anything and everything in between. You see, Michael Baldi is a licensed electrician, and he has a team ready to go. Whether it's something for the ceiling in the kitchen, something for the lights for the holidays, whatever it may be, Michael Baldi and Baldi Electric. BaldiElectric.com, 314-968-9999, because everybody needs a good electrician on speed dial. BaldyElectric.com.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please visit CantorInjuryLaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Truck drivers, are you tired of your pay not matching your experience? At Schneider, our truck driver pay is designed so your years of service directly translate to higher earnings. Plus, longtime drivers qualify for larger sign-on bonuses and a larger selection of driving jobs. Pick from dry-van, intermodal, tanker, and dedicated opportunities. Ready to be rewarded for your hard work and expertise? Find the right driving job for you at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
You know, over the years, Lordo's has become part of the family for many, many St. Louis families. For 80 years, they've been helping St. Louis families with all of the jewelry needs, whether it's the diamond ring, a diamond ring, maybe something for St. Patrick's Day, something for an anniversary, Valentine's Day. Throughout the years and throughout the calendar, it's Lordo's as your go-to. Whether it's men or women, you want to repurpose something or buy something new, Lordo's Diamonds in the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road. You see, it's a family business. The family's been running it for years, and they learned it from their father, who learned it from their father. And so that family jeweler, it's where generations of St. Louisans go. Grandparents have gone there. Your grandkids will go there. Right there in Ladue on Clayton Road, across the street from a Norman Rockwell-esque firehouse, is Lordo's Diamonds. Go in, make a friend, and make them your family jeweler, because you can thank me later. 314-432-8008 or online, lordosdiamonds.com.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsetter's Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsetter's, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
10 minutes before 4 o'clock, time to check back in with Captain Paul.
Heidi, a crash on 270 south at 55 has been cleared, and traffic is still congested back to 44. There's an accident on southbound Lindbergh at 44. The estimated clearance time there is 4:30. The signals are on flash at 64 East and Maryville Center and at 64 West and North 40 Drive. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
I feel like the other topic that was big over the weekend with friends was what books we're reading. And, you know, every single book that is mentioned, of course, you'll find at the St. Louis County Library, one of the many branches. Or if you're looking for something else, maybe you want to check out their library of things. Maybe you didn't even know they had the library of things, but this is where you can actually check out a telescope or a fishing pole as it gets warmer. Even a musical instrument. Maybe you've been wanting to learn the guitar, but don't know if it's really worth you going and, you know, purchasing and spending that much money. Well, you can check one out at the St. Louis County Library and see if it's your next big thing. GoPro cameras, binoculars, even pickleball equipment. It is amazing what they have in their library of things. But then, of course, they've got other things that you can dig into, like your own family history at the new Emerson History and Genealogy Center at the Clark Family Branch. Or maybe you have a teenager at home who is super creative and they want to make videos or maybe audios. They have the Teen Creative Lab with a 3D printer and a recording studio, even a green screen wall, so they can make really cool videos. You can learn more about everything St. Louis County Library has to offer. slcl.org.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again.
Well, maybe you're leaving on a jet plane. Maybe you're staying a little longer at the airport. Aisha Ali is ABC News transportation reporter for in Washington. She joins us with the latest. And I mean, travelers at airports across the country are starting to see longer wait times. Is this all about the TSA funding?
Hi, yes, thank you for having me. So right now, yes, it is because of the TSA staffing shortage that's stemming from this partial government shutdown where the Department of Homeland Security either have people furloughed or they're working without pay. And since TSA officers are considered essential workers because, it's important for them to be there for our safety at airports, they are working, but unfortunately they're not getting paid. They have not received a full paycheck since towards the end of last month, which is when the shutdown began. And a lot of them are having to make tough decisions, like, choosing whether or not they can continue to work without pay, or they might need to take other jobs, or if they can't even afford childcare, if they need to stay at home with their children.
So we had heard when this thing started on a Sunday morning, they said, well, funding's gone, so we're going to shut down TSA PreCheck. And then an hour later, they walked that back and they said, well, we're not going to do that anymore, probably because they heard so many people complain. But Bob was traveling and he said they did shut it down.
Yeah, so I'm coming back from BWI Saturday, and I go through the pre-check line, and the guy just says, no, we're not doing that tonight. So I assume that's all part of this same major issue, right?
So you're right. It is that initially they did announce that because of the shutdown, they might have to close pre-check, and then they changed that decision. But there were a few airports that briefly saw that, and LAX was one of them, and that's probably what happened to you.
Yeah.
But just yesterday, Houston Airport, they had to close down their pre-check too, because TSA had said that, they'll base and do assessments, and based off of what staffing looks like at specific airports, they might be forced to close down some of those pre-check lanes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, and this just ahead of a lot of people heading out on spring break. I know a lot of colleges are looking at that this week. I mean, what's the advice? How early should you be getting to an airport, and what do you need to check before you go?
Yeah, so the one thing I would say for people, it's don't just pack your luggage, pack your patience as well. You're going to need lots of it because those lines are long. Some are even up to outside to parking lots at airports. Arrive early. That's going to be the best and biggest advice. Airports and airlines are reaching out to travelers actively and letting them know. A lot of Hobby Airport posted, hey, lines are going to be long. Arrive 4 to 5 hours early, which when you think about it, it's a really long time, even longer than some people's flights actually. But that's the only way to make sure that you have enough time to get through those lines. Whether you're in pre-check, it's slightly faster, but if you're in those standard lines, it takes a long time to get through that security. You want to make sure you have enough time to get through that and also make it to your flight because you don't want to miss your flight. Airlines can't keep delaying flights just because of the TSA screening longer times.
And where do we stand with Congress? Are they even in session? Are they talking right now?
So there has not been a major update on any of the ends in terms of negotiations. So we're still at a standstill. But if you remember from the previous shutdown, it was a big major part of getting that funding was those ATC shortages and those big travel disruptions that led to the shutdown ending. So it'll be worth seeing what happens in this case and if these long lines end up pushing them to make a decision.
Yeah. Oh, it is a kind of a nightmare. Aisha, thank you so much for your report.
Thank you.
Well, that is a nightmare. Mm-hmm. And you don't want things to be backed up or having to wait extra time. Nobody likes to wait.
No.
Nobody likes to wait, especially when you've got a toothache. I think you know where I'm going.
That's the worst.
How many times have you called a dentist and said, hey, I got a thing going on. When can I get in? And they say, how does September look?
No. I need it done yesterday.
Yes. I think that the dermatologist and the dentist have the calendars full the farthest out as possible.
If there was only a dentist that would give you better service like that, I just can't imagine there is one.
Or maybe a dental office that just opened up and is saying, hey, Lake St. Louis and the surrounding area, come see us. That's Lake St. Louis Dentistry.
Sounds like a miracle to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's my dentist as well. So, you know a guy. And I've been going to them since I was a kid. My parents have been going to them since Dr. Landgraf's Grandpa was in the business, Florissant Dental and Florissant Mid-County Dental in Creve Coeur, and now the new Lake St. Louis Dentistry on Lake St. Louis Boulevard, half mile from 4064. There's another dental office out there, so read my lips. Lake St. Louis Dentistry, LakeStLouisDentistry.com is the one you want to go to, 636-333-6150. And I'm pretty sure no waiting. Dr. Mulla is the full-time dentist there in Lake St. Louis. Dr. Landgraf is out there quite a bit as well. Give them a call. Look them up, LakeStLouisDentistry.com. If you're out west and you just moved out there and you need a dentist, look them up, LakeStLouisDentistry.com.
Everyone's talking about these weight loss drugs, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Joe Molesky with us, a St. Louis native and board-certified primary care physician. Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
The magic cure is these weight loss shots. They're injected once weekly. They're not like the old medications that you've seen 20, 30 years ago. These medications actually work. They're injected once weekly, and patients see within the first 90 days 10 to 15 pounds down. It simply works, and that's why I recommend it to all of my patients. You simply go online, book an appointment. You fill out a health questionnaire form. You get an appointment on our schedule. It's all telemedicine based. It's all done from your home. And then you meet with me or one of my nurse practitioners. And then after the 10, 15-minute consult, the medication is delivered right to your door discreetly, and you get started right now on your weight loss journey.
And you want to start to lose weight? None better than to call STLMedWeightLoss.com and ask Dr. Joe. STLMedWeightLoss.com. Michael's Baths. His name is Michael, and he'll redo your bath. From tubs to shower conversions to full bathroom remodels, including paint and electrical, they do it all at Michael's Baths. Michael's Baths uses products like Centrel and Moens, backed by lifetime warranties to make sure your bathroom is done right. They specialize in ADA-accessible showers and tubs, everything from grab bars to safety features and no gimmicks. Now offering a new, even higher end wall option designed to bring a custom spa-like look to your home. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Get your reservations in now for Bishop's Post. Bishop's Post. They have the best version of your classic favorites. Located in Chesterfield, Bishop's Post is the perfect spot for that celebration.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis, Wildwood, De Pere, Columbia, and the world. Streaming live at KTRS.com.
Davis, anchor of crime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. The war against Iran now in its second week. The U.S. and Israel are targeting Iran's energy infrastructure, and President Trump has not ruled out the possibility of sending U.S. troops. Iran continues to launch strikes across the region, sending oil prices soaring. Iran also announced the son of the late Ayatollah has been chosen as the new supreme leader. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Jerusalem.
The younger Khamenei is expected to follow his father's hardline policies, but President Trump dismissing him as a lightweight and an unacceptable choice, telling our Mary Bruce in an interview he needs to approve the next Iranian leader or he's not going to last long. Israel warning it would target any new leader.
Gas prices in the U.S. are up nearly 50 cents since the war began. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze says the surge could spill over into travel and shipping costs.
As they are paying those higher costs, there is a very real risk that they pass down those higher costs to consumers, and that creates a broader concern with inflation at a time when so many households have already been feeling these persistently high prices in other parts of the economy, something that there had been an expectation and a real hope that inflation had been moving in the right direction before this.
AI firm Anthropic is suing the Trump administration over its move to ban all federal agencies from using Anthropic's technology.
The lawsuit challenges the defense secretary's determination that Anthropic is a supply chain risk, saying the firm's reputation and core First Amendment freedoms are now under attack. The Pentagon's move came late last month after Anthropic refused to drop its insistence that the government not use its Claude platform to surveil U.S. citizens or power autonomous weapon systems. Officials insisted they would make all lawful use of the technology and wouldn't allow a company to make decisions for the military.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. Volatile storms and tornadoes between Thursday and Saturday are blamed for at least 8 deaths across 7 states from Texas to Michigan. You're listening to ABC News.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at StraightTalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at AmazonBusiness.com.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. The trial of St. Louis County Executive Sam Page has been postponed. The county executive trial was scheduled to begin March 23rd, but today's hearing was postponed by Greene County Circuit Judge Katie Greenwade, who did not set a date for a new trial. Page is charged with 2 felony counts of stealing. The judge also did not hear arguments or rule today on several motions, including one from Page's attorneys, asking that the case be dismissed. Page was indicted in July 2025 on charges accusing him of stealing county money to print and mail flyers to sway voter opinion on an April 25th ballot initiative. The case was transferred to Greene County on a change of venue. St. Louis County Police is warning of a text scam. Details from KTRS's Jill Enders.
St. Louis County Police say the texts look like a warrant. The warrant document says it's from the Circuit County of St. Louis County Traffic Division. It has the case number, the state of Missouri seal, and a QR code. Now, the fake warrant also says toll violation, but Missouri doesn't have any toll roads. Please say if you receive one of these texts, don't respond, but instead report it to your local law enforcement agency. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
A suspect is being sought in connection with a hit and run in North St. Louis that left a man in critical condition. Police say this happened Friday night along the 1400 block of Goodfellow. Anyone with any information should call St. Louis Police or Crime Stoppers. Residents in Festus continue to back against a proposed data center project near their homes. A local group has formed to explore legal options to stop the development after the city reportedly reached an agreement with a Kansas City-based developer. A community meeting was held over the weekend to discuss potential legal strategies as the project moves forward. Data centers will be the focus of a public meeting tonight in Edwardsville. The group called Residents for Responsible Growth will host the meeting at the Edwardsville Moose Lodge tonight at 6. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Mercy St. Louis has a new leader. Tricia McGusty has been named as president of the Mercy St. Louis Communities after a nationwide search. McGusty, who begins her Mercy tenure today, brings more than 25 years of healthcare experience, the last 15 of which were in leadership roles at large hospitals. Most recently, she served as Chief Operating Officer at HCA Houston Healthcare Northwest and interim CEO during a period of executive transition. And now let's look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings 9 to 11. After a down start to the day, Wall Street rallied to close in positive territory. Dow Jones up 239 points to close at 47,740. NASDAQ jumped 308 to close at 22,695. S&P 500 up 56 points to finish the day at 6,795. Now, let's check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Sobe SLU basketball will be the number 1 seed for the Atlantic 10 tournament and won't have to play until Friday. The Billikens entered the postseason on somewhat shaky ground, having gone just 3-3 down the stretch. And Mizzou basketball is the number 8 seed in the SEC tournament after dropping their final 2 games of the regular season. The Tigers will play the winner of Kentucky and LSU Thursday morning right here on the Big 550. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. No accidents, but there's a stalled vehicle on 64 West at Spady. 55 South is running slow from Gasconade to 4500 South Broadway. The signals are on flash at 64 East and Maryville Center and at 64 East and North 40 Drive. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather tonight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 61. Another warm day tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds, high of 82. Chance for rain tomorrow evening into Wednesday morning. But right now, clear blue skies, 77 degrees. The time is 4:08. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Elite Chess is back and better than ever at the 2026 American Cup in St. Louis. 2 sections of the country's top players will battle in a double elimination knockout for incredible cash prizes. Can returning favorites dominate, or will new royalty be crowned? Tickets are on sale now at stlouischessclub.org. Come see chess legends in person at the beautifully renovated St. Louis Chess Club, or tune into the broadcast to catch all the action. The 2026 American Cup, now until March 12th at the St. Louis Chess Club.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show, this Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
McGraw, Millhaven, Rose Dalton, and Carl the Intern. Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Right here on your hometown station, the Big 550 KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Monday afternoon, March 9th. St. Charles native completes set of Olympic medals with a silver and snowboard cross. Noah Elliott earned a silver medal in the men's snowboard cross yesterday at the Milan Cortina Paralympic Games. The second place finish allows him to complete a career set of Paralympic medals, having previously won both gold and bronze. He's actually the recipient of the 2025 ESPY for Best Athlete with a Disability, and he's currently competing in his third Paralympic Games. He previously represented the U.S. during the Games held in Korea and Beijing before traveling to Italy for the current winter events. He told reporters he is currently living on a high as he prepares for his remaining schedule. So congratulations to Noah Elliott.
That's fantastic. Well, I knew we were going to be talking about airlines a little bit. Are you familiar with the comedian Jim Brewer? Used to be on SNL. You know Jim Brewer.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the goat guy. Is it Goat Boy? Goat Boy. Goat Boy, yeah. That was pretty good. Remember the 80s?
I wasn't expecting that, but that was good.
Very nicely done. Well, he just revealed that he and his wife, we're talking about airline stuff, they purchased round-trip tickets, Phoenix to Honolulu, first-class seats, okay? But they wound up getting downgraded on their return. Brewer said they'd purchased the tickets about a month and a half before the trip. He goes, I can handle not getting my way, but I can't handle being lied to. So he paid first class. Then when they were coming back from Hawaii, he said they were overbooked. And they said that they were changing the couple's seats from 1D and 1F to 18. They were called to the counter. And they looked at each other, and he's a jokester. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're getting up because they're already first class. We're getting upgraded. We're going to fly the plane. But instead, the supervisor informed them their seats are going to be changed to row 18. And he goes, "What? You put one of your crew members in our seats?" Because he said he saw there were crew people in the boarding area. The supervisor said he was not able to disclose who had taken the seats. He said he was not offered alternative first-class seats. He had declined the option to fly the next day, which I have done before. It's not that bad. But he said whether a crew member had been placed in the seats. I mentioned that. He received a $400 refund, offered a $500 voucher. So he goes, we're up to $900, but 2 people getting booted out of their seats, it did not cover our costs. And he said, really, he goes, I don't care about the money as much. I wanted a sincere apology, a sincere explanation, and a plate of chicken française, because that's what he would have had on the flight.
On the first class.
So he's upset, but at least still able to joke about it. But that would be maddening. I would think I would want to, all right, cover what I really was out.
Absolutely.
And I want to know who it was.
Yeah.
If you can't tell me, then I'm not going to be happy. I want to know who did you put in ahead of me. And I wonder if there are any kind of guarantees. No, you can't bump me.
Right.
Unless it's the president. So anyway, we keep talking about these frustrating things.
You want what you pay for.
Yeah, and it was pre-ordered. It was selected. You know, they even offered you what you could have for your meal on the plane.
The chicken, the chicken française.
Yeah.
You almost expect that this is locked in.
That's maddening.
So be honest. Hey, look, we got a CIA guy, or we've got somebody in security that needs to be there. Whatever it is, give me an answer I can deal with. So anyway, those are the things that continue to go on. My son is going on spring break in, what's today? A week, 10 days, a week and a half, whatever it is.
I am too.
Yeah. He's going to Myrtle Beach, and I just, we'll have to tell him, you got to get there early.
Exactly. Be patient.
Haven't checked the weather. It was 61 degrees when we went. Didn't spend 1 second on the beach.
20 years ago.
Jim Brewer should have said, do you know who I am?
Somebody
might have
on the
locked him up.
text line says he does an awesome imitation of the CDC, singing the Hokey Pokey as the CDC that we should look up.
You can see him at the factory next Wednesday.
Really?
Jim Brewer, Wednesday, March 18th, out at the factory.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of concert venues now, did you see the Ticketmaster Live Nation settlement with the Department of Justice?
I did not see the settlement.
So another lawsuit, another monopoly bust-up of Live Nation Ticketmaster. They will pay $280 to $300 million to the states involved in the lawsuit. They will have a 15% cap on service fees at Live Nation-owned amphitheaters. They will have to divest 13 of its concert venues. And Ticketmaster has to allow third-party ticket sellers like SeatGeek and Eventbrite to post on their website. However, here we go again, lawmakers on both the state and federal level says this doesn't nearly go enough to fix the problems at Ticketmaster. I mean, these guys have been getting sued since the 90s in Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Right.
And Heidi, do you remember it was like 10 years ago where they had a law and they offered us like $25 tickets or free tickets? I remember there was a couple shows that I wanted to go to. I was, but I'm not sold on it. I'm going to save my vouchers. And then I think they expired.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
really?
I mean, they really need to do something real or else we're going to hit these lawsuits every 5 years. So a drop in the bucket, say, some politicians with the Department of Justice.
Well, we'll see. I don't think we're over with this story. And as you said, so many lawsuits. Now, I will tell you, when you want great customer service, for me, that's Byerly RV. I think I told you guys that I'm no longer pulling into a RV spot at night, because the last time we did that, I put a little bruise on a door. Maybe it was bigger than a bruise. Anyway.
How's the other guys?
All of that. Yeah, it was a rock that didn't move. Byerly has a body
you should
shop.
see The Rock.
Yeah,
it's in
you
bad
should
shape.
see The Rock. There's a little red paint on it. But you know me, I can't live with it that way, even
Yeah.
if it's something that nobody else sees. And so, thankfully, Byerly RV also has a body shop. So, this is what I'm saying about customer service. I got a text from them this morning saying the door was in. They're going to get it to the body shop this week, and I should be ready to roll again in the next couple of weeks. I didn't even have to ask. They just texted me because they were keeping me kind of informed, which I absolutely love. I want to be told where we are and not having to call all the time and say, are we making progress on this? Now, Byerly RV does a little bit of everything. Like I said, they have the body shop, but they have a full service department. And whether that is de-winterizing and getting your rig ready to go, or if it's doing something else, maybe the drawer is a little loose and you don't want to tackle it yourself, they can help with that. But Byerly RV has you covered from the day you purchase that RV, new or used, to when you store it for the winter. And here's the other thing, their storage facility is amazing, and you can even take advantage of storing your RV inside. That way you don't have to winterize. You can pull it out on a hot day like today and just hit the road traveling. That's what Byerly RV knows that they're giving you, is an option to actually get out and see this great country and have a nice place to rest your head that is yours at the end of the night. You don't have to worry about bed bugs. It's yours. You're in that little RV or big one, and it's all of the stuff that you have, put in there to make it your home on wheels. That's the way we see it. We absolutely love it. ByerlyRV.com is the website. You can also swing by the dealership there in Eureka at 109 and 44. Coming up, Ryan Krull with St. Louis Magazine joins us. We'll talk about what the new TV show DTF St. Louis gets right and what they get wrong about our city.
Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have two locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is that place where you go in and you can get that bucket of paint, you can get a couple screws. The advice is always free. And the one thing about Schnarr's Hardware that every single family hardware store used to have, and that is the smell. It smells like a hardware store. It's got the selection. I don't know how they do it. It's a small store, but they got everything you ever need. They got the paint. They got paint matching. They've got big green eggs. They've got screws and nails and everything a hardware store should have. Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations, 1 great hardware store. Schnarr's Hardware, we'll see you there.
Farmers and ranchers, when it's time to buy or sell ag equipment, think Purple Wave Auction. We're your go-to online marketplace for tractors, combines, sprayers, and more. With our no reserve policy, every item sells to the highest bidder. Experience the Purple Wave difference. Nationwide reach with a local touch. Purple Wave Auction. Whether you're expanding your operation or streamlining your fleet, we've got you covered. Visit purplewave.com today. Fuel your farm with Purple Wave Auction.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
For all of your travel needs, you go to the best travel agency in the world. Granted, I'm a little biased. Altair Travel and Cruises. They'll take you wherever you want to go in style. They'll handle all the details. You handle all the fun. Don't go to the Googles. Don't make that mistake. It all starts at Altair Travel and Cruises on Brentwood Boulevard, 314-968-9600. Anywhere you want to go, let Altair Travel take you. AltairTravel.com.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS. It's Monday.
And that means news, politics, lighthearted topics, and everything St. Louis and beyond.
It's Ryan Krull from St. Louis Magazine on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Welcome back, Ryan. How was your weekend?
It was great. Yeah, enjoyed the weather on Friday and Sunday in particular.
Yeah.
Took in the St. Louis City SC2 game on Sunday with the family. That was a delight.
Oh, that is fun. Well, I'll tell you what else is a delight. The article you and Sarah Finsky wrote about Jason Bateman's show, DTF St. Louis, and what they get right and wrong. So what sticks out to you?
Yeah, so I know the show locally has taken a lot of flack for it not being filmed here, and then obviously there's some things that they just flat out got wrong. But as Sarah and I wrote, there are some kind of things about the kind of the feel of the city, the vibe of St. Louis, if you will, that I feel like they actually did a pretty good job with. And the one that stuck out to me was that I've always found that this is a very easy town to make friends, even as adults. It's kind of easy for maybe dads or parents in particular to kind of pile up. And that's exactly what this show is about. I think in the first episode, the Jason Bateman and the David Harbour character, they both work at a local TV station. They're covering a storm. They meet for the first time. And then a few minutes later, they're sharing sort of details about their various medical conditions, and then within weeks their families are hanging out. So that just felt very true to me, even if maybe the suburbs names aren't quite correct. Kind of the vibe, the feel, I feel like was pretty spot on.
Yeah, and the fact that they use a W for the TV station instead of a K.
So I will say that was a real pebble in the shoe of Sarah in particular. She did not like that, but we had one longtime a retired newsman reach out to us and say that there are actually a few instances of stations west of the Mississippi having that W, or maybe I might have reversed it just there, but he said there's actually a few instances where that is the case. So
well, that's true. That's true, but not here. not TV stations.
Well,
in fact, there are a couple of radio stations, if they're still around.
Yeah.
It used to be that.
The river.
Yeah, but not TV stations. So no pass.
Oh, okay.
No pass.
Nice. So yeah, I see. That stuff. You think that'd be sort of easy to get right?
Yes.
And just the second episode, they say something about 314 Fest in the summer, right? Obviously, the 314 days in March. So just little stuff like that. You think they could have just done a little bit of homework to have gotten it right. But I will say I'm enjoying it overall. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm enjoying it overall as well. Of all the things we brought, and there are to the four, there are a couple of more. The one that is making my head explode in both episodes is they say cyclone instead of tornado. What the hell is that? Nobody here, nobody says cyclone.
Yeah, that is funny, and I think it's also funny too that given the I'm sure they didn't know how much the sheriff's office has been in the news locally. This in 2025 it kind of dominated headlines, but then all of a sudden the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office, which is hardly ever in the news, kind of very low profile, they're front and center in the show as well, which I thought was sort of a not exact, but just sort of interesting, coincidence there, even though I'm sure it was not intentional on their part in any way whatsoever.
Well, no, it's just a little bit all these things we're talking about that are driving us crazy don't matter to the rest of the country. I get that, but it's just kind of lazy. You could have make a phone call to you or me or anybody in town, say, what's the nomenclature? What's the deal? It could be St. Louis County Police detective. It could be those kind. And it's just, to me, a little bit lazy, but the rest of the country doesn't care, right?
Yeah, I would say let's sort of get the word out there. If you guys and I, if HBO is looking for a consultant on their next project, I think the four of us are available. Right?
We're in.
So
We're
true.
in, baby.
But I do agree with you on a couple of things that they get right. The TV station, that the meteorologist is a celebrity because that is part of our culture. I mean, Karen Foss was the queen here in St. Louis when it comes to, TV news anchors being celebrities. And the other thing that I thought was kind of funny is how the characters play cornhole, which I don't think they do that in a lot of other parts of the country in the backyard.
Yeah, they keep the cornhole thing, the cornhole event. I think they call it a cornhole celebration at one point as well. Yeah. And also his whole shtick is, I think it's "Let the Sunshine In." Is his catch is the Jason Bateman's Weatherman's catchphrase. So yeah, I think obviously if you paid for it, all these other kind of catchphrases that various folks in the local TV news biz have that that like you say, Heidi, really catch fire. So that felt very true to me as well.
Now that Aquarius song, is it Aquarius? Fifth Dimension.
Let's Sunshine.
They don't stop there. Every song has a weather related elbow to it.
Yeah.
I wish it would rain. Don't let the sun go down on me. I feel like that's going to be a running thread throughout the series.
It's interesting. One of our listeners says that they think the main character, there are some overtones of Bob Richards.
I was going to say it, but I didn't want to be the one that said it.
Well, a listener did.
But I thought about it last night.
I was going to mention that a minute ago. I'm not going to. But except that, I think it was you, Heidi, off the air that pointed out a Chicago person wrote it.
Oh, maybe.
Is that correct, Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan told me that.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah.
So Ryan, the idea that, and that happened 30 years ago?
Yeah.
That would be, I think it's coincidental. That's my guess.
Maybe. All right.
I think you're right.
You also learned a little more about one of the cars that racked up so much money in parking tickets. What's the follow-up here?
Yeah, so I did a story last week about 13,000 cars have accumulated almost $11 million in unpaid parking tickets. So yeah, I wanted to do a follow-up. Yeah, it totally. It reflects poorly on the parking division of our city, I will say that. But I wanted to kind of zero in on this one car in particular that was near the top of that list, and it was a Tesla from Illinois that I originally reported had racked up $27,000 in unpaid parking tickets. But then I realized there was another Tesla with a different license plate, but otherwise looks very suspiciously similar to that Tesla, which had accrued $15,000 in parking tickets. So what I found out was that, there's this Illinois Tesla that's been sort of using two sets of Illinois dealer plates to come to St. Louis, park. And if you kind of added up the totals of parking tickets to those two plates, it comes to a total of about $41,000.
Whoa.
Yeah. So then I reached out to Illinois and I said, hey, guys, to their Secretary of State's office, I sent them the plate information of the two dealer plates. And I said, why would a dealer be just kind of using a Tesla to kind of tool around St. Louis? And they said those dealer plates are actually – one of them is associated with a dealership that hasn't been active since 2023, and the other plate is associated with a dealership that went out of business in 2014. So these are clearly bogus plates. And that matters because if the city actually wanted to try to track down this car and collect some of that money, really the only information they have to go off of is those license plates. And if those are bogus, I think that money is going to be pretty hard I think it's just kind of gone.
Wow. Yeah, that story makes you wonder, what are they hiding from?
I think crime kingpin. You could take down a whole syndicate.
Right? I mean,
go get him, Ryan.
Maybe.
Wow. All right. And then we talked briefly about the mayor and the Board of Police Commissioners disagreeing on the budget. Any movement there?
Well, it's hard to say. It looks like if there has been any movement, it is in the wrong direction.
Oh.
There was kind of this wild back and forth on Friday when the police board had basically asked for $250 million Mayor Kara Spencer, she wanted something closer to $200 million. So they had, $50 million of daylight between them. And then Mayor Spencer put out this letter on late Friday saying the police board went from $250 to actually $333 million. So they were asking for even more now rather than coming down. And then the police board did come back and say that's not actually true. We're kind of committed to that $250 million mark. It does get a little bit in the weeds, though, because state law says that St. Louis is going to have to spend a quarter of their general revenue on policing. And even though the police board is seemingly only asking for this $250 million, they also seem to be kind of sticking with this idea that a quarter of the general revenue is $333 million. So I know that is a little bit complicated, but it's kind of hard to square that circle, because on the one hand, the police board is asking for a certain amount of money, but then they seem to be sort of arguing that their interpretation of the law says that they're owed a different amount. So this is very much a developing story and hasn't quite, I think there's still going to be a lot yet to come.
Yeah, and we know that you will be on top of it. Of course, you can always follow Ryan's reports online at stlmag.com. Thanks, Ryan.
Hey, thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.
It's about 4:33. Captain Paul's traffic still looking good?
Not too bad, Heidi. We just had a crash pop up on 44 East past Big Bend. Other than that, 70 West is heavy coming in from Illinois to the Musial Bridge. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to Hampton. 64 East bogs down at 170. 55 South is running slow from Gasconade to 4500 South Broadway, where it's stop and go. 270 South is heavy from 64 to Manchester. The signals are on flash at 64 East and Maryville Center and at 64 West and North 40 Drive. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, so you guys know when like art imitates life or life imitates art, you know how they say there's that phrase. Tell me which one this is. This happened over the weekend. It's a beautiful day on a Sunday afternoon, and me and Finn are out riding bikes and going to the park, and my wife is upstairs getting all the tax paperwork together. Okay? So we get back from a golf cart ride, and, we're laughing our heads off, and we walk inside, and she goes, I can't believe I just spent 3 hours getting our tax stuff together. And I said, now just imagine if you actually sat down and tried to do the taxes.
Oh, no, thank you.
Who wants to spend an entire weekend doing taxes when the weather actually starts getting nice?
I know.
I said, honey, this is what I say all the time on the radio. Let Jeff do all this stuff. Now, you have to get your paperwork together. I mean, you got to bring it into him. Nobody wants the shoebox anymore. I don't even know if that's outdated or whatever. But let Jeff do the taxes for you, because I'm sure doing them takes, 5 times longer than just pulling them together. And the weather's nice, and you need to be out with your son and your husband going on a golf cart ride. Now, the question is, why didn't I put the taxes together? Well, she's smarter than I am.
Well,
of course.
Yes.
The
Goes without saying.
the woman runs the household.
I was
right?
going to say we weren't asking, actually.
She knows where everything is. Can you imagine if I pulled this stuff together? So don't be like my wife and sitting upstairs on a beautiful weekend March day doing your taxes. Let Jeff do them for you. 636-394-5524. Capital Advisory Group is the name of the company, Capital Advisory, GRP.com. New location off on Clarkson Road. Jeff Zufall. Google Jeff Zufall, Capital Advisory Group to find him.
Reese Nichols, the most trusted Missouri real estate company, is now proudly serving St. Louis. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Alliance is now Reese Nichols, a Missouri-born company established 125 years ago. The same trusted agents who served St. Louis for 45 years now have the backing of Missouri's largest brokerage, Reese Nichols. Offices across the metro. In-house services include title and insurance, making your move seamless. They also proudly support the Ronald McDonald House. Visit ReeseNichols.com. That's ReeseNichols.com.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for The Only Facial. I was driving around the other night, and I was so excited when I saw another The Only Facial logo in Creve Coeur. That's their newest location. Now, The Only Facial, you might have heard about it. Every single treatment includes 11 different steps. It's one price, $125, and that includes your gratuity. But for that, you're going to get dermaplaning, you're going to get an enzyme peel, therapeutic massage, extractions, LED light therapy, a treatment mask, hydration. I mean, it just goes on and on. All 11 steps, every facial, and they have several locations. Like I said, the Creve Coeur one is the newest. But here we go. De Pere, Sunset Hills, St. Charles, U-City, Clayton. You will love this. I'm telling you, it's the best thing going in St. Louis, and now there's one near you. And if you're always struggling to find the perfect gift, we have the solution for you. 3 ways to shop for a gift card. You can order online and pick it up at The Only Facial, visit a store, or you can send your gift online. All happening at theonlyfacial.com. The Only Facial. Go to theonlyfacial.com for more, and you'll be on your way to better skin with a healthy glow.
Attention St. Louis sports enthusiasts. On March 24th, the Blues and Cardinals join forces for a night of STL sports fandom. It's Cardinals Night. Immerse yourself in the ultimate celebration of our city's passion for sports when the Blues take on the Washington Capitals and Enterprise Center. Theme night buyers will take home an exclusive Blues and Cardinals co-branded quarter zip, perfect for showing your support for both teams. Get your tickets now at stlouisblues.com/promotions.
Everyone's talking about these weight loss drugs, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Joe Molesky with us, a St. Louis native and board-certified primary care physician. Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
The magic cure is these weight loss shots. They're injected once weekly. They're not like the old medications that you've seen 20, 30 years ago. These medications actually work. They're injected once weekly, and patients see within the first 90 days 10 to 15 pounds down. It simply works, and that's why I recommend it to all of my patients. You simply go online, book an appointment. You fill out a health questionnaire form. You get an appointment on our schedule. It's all telemedicine based. It's all done from your home. And then you meet with me or one of my nurse practitioners. And then after the 10, 15-minute consult, the medication is delivered right to your door discreetly, and you get started right now on your weight loss journey.
And you want to start to lose weight? None better than to call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group. And as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Did you guys forget about daylight saving time? Did you stay on top of it? I remembered it, but we were at the lake and then got home and continued a Sunday fun day. And when I rolled over this morning, I realized it was an hour later because I didn't change the clock in the bedroom, even though I remembered it yesterday, but I didn't remember it. Like, I just assumed that it. So yeah, I was an hour behind. All day today.
I was traveling Saturday, and my lovely wife took care of all the clocks.
So you came in, and we're back on time.
Everything was fine.
Yeah.
I knew about it all day Saturday. I like to be the know-it-all with my wife. Honey, you know, the daylight savings this weekend.
Yeah, Josh, I know.
Because we get excited because now we can go on the golf cart rides and we can take Finn to the park
Absolutely.
after
And
work.
when we walk out the door, the sun is still going to be shining.
And it's going to be glorious.
Yeah.
But then Saturday night, even though I knew we were losing an hour and I was still probably going to get up at 8 o'clock, I stayed up real late. And I watched a movie. I watched the Ryan Gosling SNL.
He did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Is it in the Hollywood? They broke too much.
Well, I think they always break with him. If you think back,
remember the Beavis and Butthead?
Oh my God, that was so funny.
It was good. They break a lot. But here's another thing: adults who still play, and I think that is playing, are happier, healthier, and less stressed. And this came into we had a sleepover basically at my parents' lake house. There's 6 of us.
50-year-old sleepover.
Some of us are 60, but yeah. But, you know, there's just something about getting away. You don't have to do laundry. You don't have to dust. You don't have to. But the website, The Conversation, did this big story on how adults who find time to play are happier. So we played poker. We played charades. We played a game called Blank Slate. Have you guys ever played that one?
No.
It's
never
fun
heard of it.
too. So it's like basically you have a word. Let's say it says coffee blank, and then everybody has like a little dry erase board, and you put coffee pot, coffee house, coffee
break,
machine, coffee break.
filter.
And you want to be creative, but you don't want to be too creative. You want to actually channel someone, because if you match with just one person, you get 3 points. If you match with like 3 people, you just get 1. And if you don't match with anybody, you don't get a point.
So finding that balance. Yeah.
So you don't want to be too obscure.
That's exactly right. You want to kind of think, oh, how is this person going to think?
Is this a spouse thing? You think spouses would do well with this?
Marcia and I did do very well in the beginning. And then all of a sudden she went off track.
You know, I think, do you know the game catchphrase?
Yes.
It's basically taboo. It's basically the pyramid show, you know?
Which is so fun.
You have a word and someone else tries to describe it enough for you to get it, you know? I am so much better with that with my best friend than I am
you are
with
your
my
wife. Because you're
so
thinking like the same.
Because I've got 35 years with this guy. I've only got 15 with her.
It is very funny. And you do have those people in your life where whether it is good or bad, you think the same way.
Yeah. You're going on the pyramid show. Who you bringing? I'm bringing John.
Exactly. Speaking of that, I love when my social media feed fills up with like Betty White playing game shows or Betty and Lucille Ball. Have you seen those pop up?
Great.
No.
Oh my gosh. They're so good. But this kind of conversation, if you will, the story says that play is basically vague, but you know, it's just intentional that you are trying to be more carefree, maybe trying to connect a little bit more with your inner child, and it really does pay off in being happier, healthier, and less stressed.
So doing the 40, 50, 60-year-old sleepover, I like that a lot. I like to go on trips with my friends because the dynamic of getting up and they're there
That's
for
exactly
breakfast.
It's having coffee and breaking down the night before.
Yes.
And kind of saying, oh my gosh, that was remember when, or yeah.
You know, and you can do that. You can spend all day with your buddies and then the next morning have a text thread going, but it ain't coffee.
No.
And it ain't breakfast. So I do like that dynamic.
Yeah, we're doing that for vacation this year.
Are you going with friends?
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I like it a lot. Are you staying in the same house?
Yeah.
Because even when you're in a hotel, let's meet down in the lobby. It's different than if you if you walk out in your boxer shorts.
Yeah.
You know, scratching your back.
Yeah,
going,
we're not doing that, Josh.
Yeah. I will say though that is similar to when you have an RV. Because you do kind of, you know, you open the door in the morning and they're right across.
I don't want to be that close. That'd be like walking into your bathroom and somebody being in there.
Well, sometimes.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off. And if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
You can feel the Clydesdales circling the field. Hear the stands come alive. Smell the hot dogs, the popcorn, and cold beer in the air. See the crowd rise as the first pitch hits the glove. And just like that, a new season begins. The countdown is on until opening day, and tickets start at just $49. Don't miss St. Louis's favorite holiday. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/opening day.
This season, step up to the ultimate game day experience with Cardinals all-inclusive tickets. Enjoy a full buffet, complimentary bar, and unbeatable views inside Busch Stadium. It's great food with great company for every pitch, hit, and home run. Choose your experience in the Budweiser 703 Club, UMB Champions Club, Proficient Red Jacket Club, and more. See the game like a VIP with all-inclusive tickets. On sale now at cardinals.com/tickets.
Well, the snow is finally gone, at least for now, and warmer weather is coming soon. March into spring at Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Whether you're out for breakfast on a warm spring day, searching for a place to go to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, or you're just getting tired of March Madness munchies and want some great homestyle food, the place to go any time of day or night is Gingham's Restaurant in St. Charles. It's your home away from home, 24 hours a day. Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. 636-946-0266 or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
Your dentures no longer fit? Maybe you're missing a tooth or several teeth. Visit Dr. Bowen for Simply Secure Dentures and Dental Implants, the cutting-edge, high-quality dental implants that replace all the teeth in your mouth, and it starts as low as $7,000, not the $35,000 that others charge. If you're only missing a few teeth, Dr. Bowen can permanently replace those with something you don't have to take in and out of your mouth. Learn more at simplysecuredentures.com and get the care you need and the teeth you want at Bowen Dental Care or simplysecuredentures.com.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
Championship week is coming, and with it, Mizzou in the SEC men's basketball tournament. Get a sneak peek of the Tigers' journey through Nashville. Tuesday, March 10th at 7 o'clock. It's powered by Royal Banks of Missouri on the Big 550.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
10 minutes before 5 o'clock, Captain Paul, how's traffic?
Heidi, the latest is a crash on the 255 West on-ramp from Lee May Ferry. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to Hampton. 64 East bogs down around 170. 55 South is running slow from Gasconade to 4500 South Broadway, where it's stop and go at times. The signals are on flash at 64 East and Maryville Center and at 64 West and North 40 Drive. This traffic report is brought to you by Stages St. Louis. Get your season tickets now for the 2026 Stages St. Louis. The 2026 season is kicked off with the always hilarious 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Then take a trip back to the 40s and 50s with Guys and Dolls. Stages will wrap up this year with the incredible true story of Come From Away. Call 314-821-2407 or visit stagesstlouis.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, Iran may have been activating sleeper cells outside the country, according to an alert. Don Mahalik, ABC News law enforcement contributor and retired senior Secret Service agent, joins us with the latest. Does that mean we think they're here in the United States?
Well, Iran is the largest state sponsor of terror. They spent billions of dollars over the last 40 years propping up terror groups, terror proxies all over the world. And now we also have the issue of the lone wolf. Thanks to the internet, they can reach out and mobilize and motivate people, with the click of a mouse or with whatever propaganda they're putting online. And we've seen some of that lone wolf mobilization down in Austin, Texas recently, and now in New York City.
Yeah. So where do we go from here? How does the Secret Service or the agencies that are on top of this, how do they sniff these things out?
So what they're doing right now is both the FBI and the intelligence community are looking at these signals that they've been receiving and trying to analyze it. It looks like the signals are directed towards the region, and they're trying to see where in the region they were directed. They're pretty sure that they came out of Iran itself. And they seem like the type of signal where you need a code to sort of crack it, to understand what it says. So that's kind of what they're working on right now to figure out exactly what they're doing. The thought is it's encrypted messages to individuals, potentially to mobilize, but, they're working on it.
Yeah, and that's trying to intercept and crack communication between cells, between operatives. That's the best way we have to sort of corral bad guys. Is that right?
Well, if you go back, and I'll refer back to 9/11.
Yeah.
One of the ways we tracked a lot of Bin Laden's activities after 9/11 was not necessarily taking down the websites and chat rooms and stuff. It was by infiltrating them and monitoring them, seeing what they're saying, deciphering what they're saying, figuring out where they're going. And I mean, let's bottom line, that's how they caught Bin Laden. They deciphered the codes they were using to camouflage where he was at.
Gotcha.
And when you end up deciphering a code like that, obviously you have somebody on the inside, but how do you even infiltrate that?
Well, there's a lot of clandestine operations, use human intelligence, human sources, and human resources in order to be able to get on the inside and develop an understanding. But, we also have a lot of smart people in the world that can look at an algorithm, figure out what it means, what it says, and decipher it as well. So, again, that's some of the methodology they use to undo Bin Laden's organization and to catch Bin Laden.
Yeah.
I might have asked you this last time, Don, but when it comes to Iran and sleeper cells, we've seen Saudi Arabia behind 9/11. We've seen Bin Laden, who was Saudi via Afghanistan. Do we have any examples of Iranian terror on these shores?
Yeah, there's a whole laundry list. If you go onto the internet and you just Google Iranian plots on U.S. soil, there's a laundry list of individuals charged that were connected to Iran, including the plot back in 2024 to assassinate President Trump.
So, Don, these two guys in New York City that were looking to or did throw bombs, as you kind of just glanced at or looked at the story, maybe you studied it, amateurish, made a simple mistake. Do you think these two guys kind of plotted it themselves? You got a gut feel on that?
It seems like a couple of individuals that watched a couple of ISIS videos, and then decided to act on themselves. Again, attributable to that radicalization online of terrorism, which is always scary because these days with the internet, people in the basement, very easy to do. But that seems to be the direction that investigation is going.
Yeah, and I guess it's kind of like we've talked before. If you see something, say something, and we all do our part with this.
absolutely see something, say something. And if I could take a personal moment as somebody that was in New York on 9/11, you guys are having an event out there where the play "Come From Away" is occurring.
Mm-hmm.
Come From Away is a phenomenal play based upon Gander and up in Newfoundland that received all the planes after 9/11 that landed there, and they housed everybody, all the flights there until U.S. airspace opened up to bring anybody back. So it's got a direct tie to 9/11, and the play takes you through all the events going on at 9/11. So I would encourage all your listeners, they get a chance, go see that play. It's phenomenal.
Awesome. I love hearing that. Don, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Right now, President Trump is making some remarks on Iran. We're going to go to that.
Sent a missile up from a launcher. We were able to knock out that launcher within a period of 5 minutes or less, accurately right on the noggin. So now we have low-cost interceptors effectively combating Iranian drones, and our B-2 bombers recently dropped dozens of 2,000-pound bombs to destroy missile launchers all over Iran and buried deep under Iranian soil in many cases. The soil was no match. And we're also annihilating the manufacturing base that the regime uses to build drones and missiles at a rate that nobody thought was possible. We're knocking them out. We know where they all are. We're knocking them out very quickly. We're ahead of our initial timeline by a lot. I would say that we probably would not have thought after a month we'd be here. In addition to the fact that we've taken out the leadership twice and maybe 3 times. And we, as you know, we want to be involved. We don't want another president that maybe wouldn't be willing to do what I'm willing to do for the good of the world, for the good of our nation, to be stuck with a situation in 5 years or 10 years from now. So we think they should put a president in, or the head of the country in, that's going to be able to do something peacefully for a change. They've been doing this for 47 years, killing people for 47 years, whether it's the barracks or even the SS Cole where they were involved. Very strongly, they always denied it. But where they were very strongly involved in all of the people that died through the roadside bombs, died and are right now walking around with no legs, no arms, a face that's been so badly damaged. The Iranian regime has been attacking Americans and spreading terror for 47 years, and despite these countless opportunities to renounce their nuclear ambitions, which they had just a short while ago, they told Mr. Witkoff, who is standing right over here, they said, they actually said, we want to keep building. Essentially, in a real nutshell, we want to continue to build nuclear weapons. If we didn't knock out Midnight Hammer, if we didn't knock out their Iranian potential, if we didn't do that with Midnight Hammer, they would have had a nuclear weapon. They would have used it long before now. And at a minimum, Israel would have been annihilated. I was very lucky that we had the courage to do that, that we had the talented pilots and the great equipment. The B-2 bombers are unbelievable. We ordered 25 more, by the way. The newer, better version. It's we have the greatest military in the world. We have the greatest equipment in the world by far. You see that no matter where we go. You still need the people, though, to operate it and to use it. And those are the people that we cherish. Even after we obliterated their key nuclear sites in Operation Midnight Hammer, they never negotiated in good faith. They still continued to say, we want to build nuclear. We want enrichment at levels that were unacceptable. And they even turned down an offer for unlimited free nuclear fuel forever for civilian purposes. We had people offering them free nuclear fuel. They weren't interested in that because they wanted to build a nuclear weapon. So instead, the regime was trying to reconstitute its weapons program at a different site. They couldn't go back to where they were, the 3 sites that we obliterated, but they were starting work at another site, a different site, different kind of a site, and that was protected by granite. They wanted it protected. Granite's pretty good, but they wanted it protected.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump, speaking at a gathering of Republicans in Doral, Florida this past hour, says the U.S. operation against Iran is going well, he says, and the U.S. and Israel have mostly destroyed Iran's military capabilities and continued calls for Iran to surrender.
I don't know when they cry uncle, but they should have tried it 2 days ago, right? But they don't have anything left.
Iran has not stopped launching drone attacks on Gulf states, leading to widespread conflict. Tehran also announcing the son of the late Ayatollah killed in the initial strikes has been chosen to be the new supreme leader. Mojtaba Khamenei is expected to continue the regime's hardline policies. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Jerusalem.
10 days of war. Iran's government, security forces, missile capabilities and infrastructure all severely degraded by the U.S. and Israel. But for now, the regime still appears intact, still able to retaliate and to elect a new leader.
The State Department says 36,000 Americans have taken either commercial flights or opted for charter options to leave the Middle East since the war began. And the war, along with the partial government shutdown in the U.S., leading to travel woes for spring breakers.
The war with Iran is expected to boost airfares eventually, but the partial government shutdown already has TSA workers calling in sick. At Houston's Hobby Airport,
right now, I'm trying to keep high spirits right now to keep everybody else up. Everybody's in a bad mood, hot and sweaty.
Aaron Purvis and other passengers at Hobby have been faced with security lines 3 hours long.
ABC's Jim Ryan. And California police investigating a shooting incident at the Beverly Hills homes of singer Rihanna yesterday. Authorities say the suspect, 30-year-old Ivana Lisette Ortiz, sped away before being arrested and charged.
At this point, the LAPD is looking into why this 35-year-old woman shot up Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's mansion. Police haven't shared a motive. Now Ortiz has been booked on attempted murder with the bail set at more than $10 million.
ABC's Melissa Adon. You're listening to ABC News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. The trial of St. Louis County Executive Sam Page has been postponed. The county executive trial was scheduled to begin March 23rd, but today's hearing was postponed by Greene County Circuit Judge Katie Greenwade, who did not set a date for a new trial. Page is charged with 2 felony counts of stealing. The judge also did not hear arguments or rule today on several motions, including one from Page's attorneys, asking that the case be dismissed. Page was indicted in July 2025 on charges accusing him of stealing county money to print and mail flyers to sway voter opinion on an April 25th ballot initiative. The case was transferred to Greene County on a change of venue. Police say a shooting early this morning in downtown St. Louis involved a set of brothers. Police say a 19-year-old man was shot by his 17-year-old brother while inside a vehicle on South Broadway near Busch Stadium at 12:30 this morning. Police say witnesses in the car are giving conflicting stories. The 17-year-old alleged shooter was remanded to the juvenile court system. His 19-year-old brother was transported to the hospital with serious injuries. It's a guilty verdict for the man charged in a murder-for-hire plot. A judge ruled that Gary Johnson was the gunman who shot and killed 32-year-old Portia Rowland as she warmed up her car in the driveway of her Collinsville home in January of last year. Prosecutors say Johnson was hired by Sammy Schaefer. Evidence in court showed that Rowland was having an affair with Schaefer's wife. Sentencing for Johnson will be set for a future date. Metrolink passengers are voicing safety concerns after an object was thrown at a train last Friday, causing a window to shatter. A loud bang was heard before a window shattered on a train approaching the Central West End station, covering some passengers with broken glass. A longtime Catholic school in Warren County is slated to close. The St. Louis Archdiocese announced that St. Ignatius Loyola School in Marthasville, about 60 miles west of St. Louis, will close at the end of the year due to declining enrollment. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. St. Louis Six Flags has been sold. The parent company is selling 7 theme parks, including our park in Eureka, to strengthen the remaining parks in their portfolio. Six Flags St. Louis will run as normal through the 2026 season, including honoring season pass holders, active memberships, and multi-park passes. And now this market report is brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings 9 to 11. After a down start to the day, Wall Street rallied to close in positive territory. Dow Jones jumped 239 points to close at 47,740. NASDAQ up 308 to finish at 22,695. S&P 500 jumped 56 points to close at 6,795. Time now to check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Sobe Mizzou basketball is the number 8 seed in the SEC tournament after dropping their final 2 games of the regular season. The Tigers will play the winner of Kentucky and LSU on Thursday morning right here on the Big 550. And SLU basketball will be the number 1 seed for the Atlantic 10 tournament and won't have to play until Friday. The Billikens enter the postseason on somewhat shaky ground, having gone just 3-3 down the stretch. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. There's a crash on the 255 West on-ramp from Lee May Ferry. 64 West is busy in front of Forest Park. 55 South is running slow from Gasconade to 4500 South Broadway. And we have a stalled vehicle on 70 East at Cary. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low of 61. Another warm day tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds, high of 82. Chance of rain tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, and a Wednesday high of 64. Right now, a little breezy but beautiful, clear blue skies, 77 degrees. The time is coming up on 5:08. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Are you looking for gorgeous hardwood floors? Look no further. Boardwalk Hardwood Floors. You see, they're having their home show sale. It's happening right now at Boardwalk Hardwood Floors, your local flooring experts. You can save 15% on select hardwood and durable floors for a limited time only. Their great team will help you pick out the perfect floor for your style and your needs, because there are different floors for different purposes. You've got hardwood, you got 3/4 inch, you got luxury vinyl, waterproof flooring, and so much more. Free sample checkouts. You can rent the tools to make it easier, or they'll find someone to install it. For 25 years, Boardwalk Hardwood Floors has been your trusted, family-owned flooring provider, and their home show sale right now means you're going to save even more. They have 4 area locations, and to learn everything you need to know, BoardwalkHardwood.com. Boardwalk is a proud partner of your St. Louis Blues and a great flooring provider. Boardwalk Hardwood, home show sale going on right now. BoardwalkHardwood.com.
Stop compromising and start saving with Seidenstricker Nobe Partners. Right now, get 0% financing for 84 months or $6,000 cash off a new John Deere 5E tractor, and we'll deliver it to you for free. Real work demands real equipment. All grit, that's the 5E. Visit snpartners.com or one of our Missouri or Illinois John Deere locations. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 4/30/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our favorite correspondent at CBS Sunday Morning, David Pogue, has been busy with a side project. He's written a new book, Apple, The First 50 Years. He shared some of what he learned yesterday morning, but he's joining us with a look back at the iconic company. Thanks for making time for us.
Anytime.
I mean, the story of Apple has a lot of ups and downs and twists and turns. Where do you even start?
You know, I've been telling people it's like a capital letter N, like as in Nancy. Like there was a rise, and then there was a big fall, and then there was a rise again. That's kind of the 50-year arc of this company. You know, the rise was when Steve Jobs was there, and, you know, there was the Apple II, and then there was the Macintosh, and then he left in 1985. The company wasn't even 10 years old, and the company sort of slowly sank into disrepair and chaos and duplication. There were little fiefdoms, and everybody was competing with each other. My favorite story from that era is the time two Apple lawyers showed up in trademark court to sue each other.
Oh, no.
It was such chaos. And then Steve Jobs came back, and that was the golden age of the iPad and the iMac and the iPod and the iPhone and so on.
Where does Apple land in the list of most successful American businesses?
I mean, from a financial standpoint, it's probably number one. It was the most valuable company in the world until the AI revolution hit a couple of years ago. Now it's number 3 behind NVIDIA and Microsoft. But in terms of profit and brand loyalty and reputation, it would be hard to find a more highly regarded company.
And there's so much to say about that. I mean, how do you make money? Make something that everyone wants to carry around with them all the time. How about that as starters? But go back, because you just brought it up. My wife asked me during the piece on Sunday morning yesterday, she said, what was Steve Jobs doing in those 10 years where he was gone? And I remember from one of the movies that he was making a new line of computers for schools.
That's right. He started a new computer company called Next, and the computer itself was cool looking. It was a black cube, 1 foot square, and, you know, very powerful for its time. But the company was a failure. The computer itself was way too expensive for the college kids they had in mind, and didn't sell them. And he got out of the hardware business and started making Next a software-only company. They developed a really great modern operating system that didn't crash, and that is why he wound up going back to Apple after 11 years, is because Apple bought that operating system.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so with that, they got the operating system, 300 great engineers, and Steve Jobs.
Help me beat myself up here, David. So we go back to the late 70s. Could I have walked up to his garage where he was working, say, hey, I don't have a lot. I got $1,000 to invest in the company. Would he have taken the check?
Oh, man, would he have taken the check. He was so cash-strapped in those early years. He went to every bank, to every venture capitalist. And you got to remember who you're dealing with, right? He's 21. He's bearded, smelly. He doesn't believe in deodorant or hygiene. He's barefoot. He lives on these weird food fad diets. You know, you just eat flax seeds and carrot juice for a while. So, you know, this guy comes to your bank and says, I'm looking for a loan for 25 or 50 grand. Do you think they'd give it to him?
No.
So, yeah, he would have taken your money.
And so how rich would I be now? No, keep it to yourself. I don't want to know.
Well, actually, I can tell you, because there was, believe it or not, a third founder.
Oh.
So there was Steve Wozniak, the engineering genius who did the Apple I and the Apple II, and then there was Jobs. But they wanted to go into business together, but they were having some disagreements over who would own the designs that Woz came up with, because Woz was an employee of HP. He was designing calculators. And Jobs kept saying, anything you design from now on, Apple is going to own. And so finally, to settle the dispute, they got this 41-year-old sort of serial entrepreneur they knew named Ron Wayne to settle the disagreement and write up a founding document on April 1st, 1976, which is why we're all celebrating the 50th anniversary in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And this guy was cut in for 10% of the company.
Oh.
His name was Ron Wayne, and he lasted 11 days. He finally decided, you know what? These guys just got a loan. They finally got a loan for $15,000. And he's like, I'm on the hook for a tenth of that. And these guys are like grubby and smelly. And I've been burned in previous entrepreneurial enterprises. So I don't have the stomach for this startup thing. I'm out.
Oh.
So if he had not withdrawn from that partnership today, he would be worth $350 billion.
With a B! Oh, my gosh.
It's breaking my heart, and it's not even my heart.
That is crazy.
I would have sold too.
Oh, I'm wondering, were the Steves, I mean, was Woz and Jobs, were they friends?
They were friends. They were just, Jobs was 4 years younger. They went to the same high school, but didn't overlap because of that age gap. But they were both into Bob Dylan and playing pranks and technology and girls. So originally they were just buddies. And Woz had built a computer for himself, no intention of marketing it. He just wanted to play games. So he built himself a computer, and his buddy Jobs said, dude, we should sell this. And Woz was never really that into this idea, but he went along with it, and the rest is history.
I want to talk about the partnership because, again, there were 2 movies made of it. We think we know some of the stories, but you tell us the reality of it. Ashton Kutcher, Michael Fassbender, they were in the movies. But Steve Wozniak, he was an engineer. He built things. What does Steve Jobs bring to the table? From what I can understand, he's just an idea guy, but maybe he has the best ideas ever.
Oh man, you're pushing my button right now because everybody says in the YouTube comments for the Sunday morning story I did yesterday, everyone's like, Steve Jobs wasn't an engineer. Woz was the genius. What did Jobs bring? He was just a snake oil salesman. But yes, Jobs was the marketing master, absolutely. But he was also very much the visionary. This guy, through his years at Apple, had the most incredible ability to see the future, not just the future of what we, the public, might want at a time when we'd never been shown it, but also Jobs' specialty was spotting fledgling technologies in the wild that could be made simpler and better and incorporated into consumer devices. I mean, the story of the iPod is a classic example. At the time, you could get 2 kind of music players. You could get ones that held like 6 songs because they were all built on memory. They stored them in memory. And you could get a kind with a hard drive that would hold a lot of songs, but it was the size of, a sub sandwich. It was huge and heavy and delicate. So Jobs and his buddies were in Japan one day visiting Toshiba about some other matters. And the Toshiba guys go, oh, and before you leave, look at this thing we've come up with. It's a hard drive the size of an Oreo, but we can't figure out what to do with this thing. And Jobs' people are like, we will sign you up right now. Here's a check for $10 million. We will buy all you can make. And that was 1,000 songs in your pocket. That was the iPod.
Wow.
And over, Jobs just kind of knew. And I think that's just as valuable a skill
absolutely.
as the engineering.
Yeah. When did Wozniak leave and why?
He left pretty early. He did the Apple I and the Apple II, and then the Apple II was really his joy and his love. And honestly, it kept Apple alive for 10 years while they flailed with other computers you don't hear about anymore, the Apple III and the Lisa. And then in 1985, he started taking flying lessons. He wanted to become a pilot, and he bought himself a little Beechcraft 4-seater plane, and he really wasn't secure behind the wheel, and he had a terrible crash. Nobody died, but there were injuries, and especially him, and he developed terrible amnesia.
Oh.
And for weeks, he didn't remember his own name.
Wow.
It really never fully came back, but soon after that, he withdrew from Apple, partly because of he realized life is short and he wanted to go back and finish his degree, and partly because over time he became resentful of the way his pride and joy, the Apple II, was being taken for granted while Apple was trying to promote the Macintosh and other more modern computers.
Well, so we kind of talk about the ups and downs, and if they're at this low, Apple, how do they then bounce back? Is it with the iPhone or the iPod?
It was. So Steve Jobs came back in 1997 and pulled off what is widely considered the greatest turnaround in corporate history. I mean, this company was in bad shape. 6 weeks from bankruptcy. They were spending $50 million a month to stay alive, and they were about to run out. Jobs came in. They were selling 50 Mac models and printers and monitors and the Newton, all this stuff. Jobs came in, took a look, and said, we're cutting it all down. We're going to cut down the 50 products down to 4. We're going to make 2 laptops, 2 desktops. They got rid of the printers. They got rid of the Performas. They shut down the Newton. They shut down their advanced technology research group. I mean, he was just brutal. And within 1 year, they racked up their first $45 million profit in a year.
Wow.
So what is it about Apple? Why is Apple so cash heavy these days? Why are they the number one aside from what AI is doing? Is it the iPhone? They don't even sell iPods anymore. You see Apple computers, but I think, the PC is still leading the charge.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is that Apple has a huge and very dedicated ecosystem, a fan base. In other words, your Apple Watch, your iPhone, your iPad, your Mac, they all talk together, and the data is the same. You make a note on your iPhone, and it shows up on your Mac, and so on. So it's very hard to switch. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to leave that. You've already paid for the apps. Are you really going to just throw that investment away? So Apple has itself a cushion of 2.5 billion people carrying Apple products right now. If that were a country, it would be the biggest in the world, bigger than China. So the masses of people buying into Apple is just inconceivable. And Tim Cook, the latest CEO, has steered the company into services, Apple Pay, Apple Music, Apple TV, and these are unbelievably profitable for Apple. If just that part of Apple were a company, it would be on the Fortune top 25 companies in the world. They make $100 billion a year. And think about it. It's almost pure profit. It's 75% profit because there's no hardware, there's no raw materials, there's nothing to ship people. It's just services.
Wow.
I'm trying to think, if I wanted to buy a song outside of iTunes, I don't know where else I would go. So what about going back to Steve Wozniak, who you interviewed on the piece yesterday? Did he rejoin Apple at some point? Is he, a brand ambassador?
Yes and yes. So he came back to Apple for a while, and he was working on a successor to the Apple II for a while. It was weird. They gave him a little desk off in the corner of a building, and that's really where he was happiest, right? He didn't want to manage people. He just liked to do engineering. It didn't last that long, but he's always maintained, 1 share of Apple stock, so he gets the annual report, and he is very much a brand ambassador. He does talks all over the world. Everybody, like me, seeks, his opinion on how Apple is going and stuff like that. Someone needs to do a movie about Woz.
That is so. You should.
Yeah. I mean, this guy is the anti-tech bro. He is the gentlest, most childlike, most generous person. For me personally, he was on call writing this book for 2 years. Whenever I had a technical question or a historical question, he would write back immediately. He gave away all his millions from Apple. He started a children's museum. He started the San Jose Ballet. He started the Silicon Valley Tech Museum.
Whoa.
He put on music festivals. He gave away or spent it all just for the sake of others.
Well, if you do a movie, Josh Gad played him in one of them, and Seth Rogen played him in the other. So you can just call one of those two guys and see what they're up to. One last thing, the book's like 600 pages long, David. We covered just a portion of it. What's a good Apple anecdote that we haven't hit yet?
Well, I think my biggest takeaway from researching this book and interviewing the 150 people was, I thought Apple had great marketing. They say we make the finest of everything, blah, blah, blah. But when you go in there, inside the company, you find out they are not kidding around. They go to the most sometimes hilarious extremes. And my favorite example is Face ID, that's the thing that unlocks your iPhone by looking at your face. They wanted to make sure that it would work on every face in every situation. So they would take their prototype to, for example, twins conferences.
Oh,
wow.
And they wanted to make sure that, creative facial hair wouldn't fool it. So they would take it to Harley Davidson rallies and try it on these motorcycle dudes. At one point, they wanted to make sure that a mask could not fool it. So they hired these Hollywood special effects guys to make them a bunch of incredibly lifelike latex faces. I mean, with razor stubble and eyelashes and the whole deal. And it turned out you couldn't fool it with a mask, but they did mention that the poor guy in the mailroom who opened that box, seeing all these heads staring out at him, he got quite a shock.
That is so great. Well, you can read more about Apple in David's new book, Apple, The First 50 Years. You can purchase that wherever books are sold. David, it's always a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much.
Always great to chat with you guys.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off. And if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Well, the snow is finally gone, at least for now, and warmer weather is coming soon. March into spring at Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Whether you're out for breakfast on a warm spring day, searching for a place to go to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, or you're just getting tired of March Madness munchies and want some great homestyle food, the place to go any time of day or night is Gingham's Restaurant in St. Charles. It's your home away from home, 24 hours a day. Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant, 636-946-0266 or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
If you're concerned about the health of your trees, you need to talk to the Davey Tree Expert Company. These people love trees. They have a passion for keeping trees healthy. Their certified arborists provide personalized care for your trees. They're trained in the latest technologies for safe and accurate pruning and provide reliable preventative measures for diseases and invasive insects.
Locations in South County, Webster Groves, and coming soon to St. Charles. Davey Tree serves the entire St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river. Visit Davey, spelled DAVEY.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
Explore how you can manage your money day or night with convenient digital banking tools from Royal Banks of Missouri. No matter where you are, you can cross banking off your to-do list with a variety of features available at your fingertips. Monitor your accounts, deposit checks, schedule bill payments, plus more, anytime, anywhere. Visit RoyalBanksofMo.com or download the Royal Banks of Missouri mobile app to get started. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Big 550 has been live and local for 29 years, covering local news and keeping you informed with national and world news from ABC News.
Now, our local news coverage is even more extensive,
as KTRS now carries the First Alert 4 10 p.m. newscast, Monday through Friday. Join the names you know and trust.
This is First Alert 4 at 10. I'm Corey Stark.
I'm Samantha Jones.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton with a First Alert update on what's happening.
And sports from the Sports on 4 team. Just one more reason why KTRS is live, local, and your hometown locally owned station. The Big 550 and First Alert 4 depend on it. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
5:31. We're going to talk sports with KTRS Sports Director Brendan Weesey after we talk a little traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi, an accident on 70 East at Cary is blocking the right lane, but only causing a slight slowdown. There's a crash on the 255 West on-ramp from Lee May Ferry. 64 West is busy in front of Forest Park. 64 East slows down briefly at 170. There's a stalled vehicle on 44 West past 270. And in Illinois, 64 East is congested from 255 to a mile past 157. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
The Missouri Valley Tournament is in the books, and all of the men of sports here at KTRS, you did a terrific job calling the games.
Thank you, Heidi.
KTRS Sports Director Brendan Weesey.
It was always, as always, a ton of fun and
a lot of work. You lead the charge with all of this year after year.
I appreciate it. It's great to have a great team here that helps put the games on, and it goes by very fast, and I think we're all just thrilled to be part of it. It's such a great league, and Northern Iowa, 6th seed, first time ever in the history of Arch Madness. They play 4 games, and they win all 4, starting on Thursday, and they're going to the big dance.
I mean, it's why we call it madness, but I mean, immediately out of the gate, number 1 seed taken down. I mean, it was just like anybody's game at that point.
That told us, right? That was the big tell, that this was indeed as tightly compact a tournament, an Arch Madness tournament that we've ever seen. When 1 goes down and then 3 goes down, you still have the 2 seed Bradley, but they fall on Saturday afternoon. So you get the 5 seed, you get the 6 seed. And ultimately, it's Northern Iowa getting it done. But this is not your normal 6 seed. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country. They've got one of the best coaches in the country in Ben Jacobson. And they're really playing great ball. And the fact that another little tell was out of Vegas on Saturday. Northern Iowa is the 6th seed. They were favored over 2 seed Bradley.
Wow.
And then they were favored over UIC yesterday. So, yeah, it's an upset in terms of seeding, but not an upset in the way we look at point spreads and whatnot. They were deemed to be the superior team, and they proved it out. Yeah.
So we've got SLU on a hot run here. They're a mid-major. Some people have said, a couple weeks ago.
Did you say hot run? Because they look pretty cold.
Well, they're on a hot season.
Okay.
Pending how this thing ends this week.
They're the 1 seed. We can say that.
But there is some question if they don't win the tournament, are they in? Belmont is a respectable 26-6. There's the Miami of Ohio Redhawks, who are undefeated, and some people said if they don't win their championship, they're not in. Is Belmont out of the big dance because they did not win this MVC tournament?
I think they are, and based in large part due to losing the way they did to Drake. Drake was the 9 seed. They didn't just lose, they got blown out.
Yeah.
So I think Belmont's in trouble. When it comes to a team like Miami, Ohio, which is also a very interesting case study here because they are undefeated. And I think that deserves, I don't care what league you play in, it deserves a special dispensation here going into March to where, again, it's sort of like Belmont, don't lose your first game of the MAC tournament. But if Miami, Ohio finds a way to at least get to the MAC semifinals this weekend, then they should be dancing. An undefeated regular season, that's a special circumstance. I don't care how difficult their schedule was. I don't care what the rest of their metrics say. They, in my mind, should be in, especially with how soft this bubble is. We have people making a case for Auburn.
No.
Auburn is terrible. They have not done enough in my mind to earn any consideration yet because they did play a difficult non-conference schedule. They did win at Florida. That to me doesn't put them over the top of other deserving teams. And I put Miami, Ohio, and they don't want to be called that. They're Miami University. But the Redhawks, they belong in the field.
All right, well, Josh just kind of alluded. I mean, SLU, pretty poor showing in their last regular season game. Mizzou, not much better. So do both of them now need to win the tournament?
Well, I think SLU belongs in their own unique bucket here. They got annihilated by George Mason on the road Saturday, late Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. They got blown out.
It wasn't even a game.
That's a big problem.
We turned it off.
Yes, it was really bad. That to me is a little different than Mizzou losing in overtime to Arkansas. Now, Mizzou, having said that, the way they got blown out at Oklahoma last week, that was a bit of a problem. So for Mizzou, let's start there. If they lose Thursday to Kentucky, it will be 3 straight losses going into the tournament. I still think they're in. I think most other people still think they're in, but there's enough that we don't know. And all of these projections we see, these are merely just that, projections. The committee has thrown us curveballs before. And the committee, in very recent memory, they have penalized teams that play soft non-conference schedules. And Mizzou played one of the softest of them all.
Illinois and Kansas.
Yes. But then everyone else they played in the month of November, it was a bunch of teams ranked 300 and beyond. So that's something we have to be mindful of. And if Mizzou were to lose to Kentucky, I think they're squarely on the bubble again. I still think they're in, but that once again brings back the possibility of the first 4. Do they play in Dayton next week? That becomes a strong possibility. If they beat Kentucky, I think they're safely in. At that point, you don't have to sweat. But if you lose to the Wildcats, I think you're sweating on Selection Sunday. SLU, I think they're safe, but I know others don't necessarily agree with me. And again, if they were to lose in the kind of fashion they did to George Mason, and if they don't make the Atlantic 10 Tournament Championship, it does bring some uncertainty to the table. Maybe Dayton, maybe the first 4 for the Billikens, but ultimately I think they are safe as well. The metrics like SLU more than they do Mizzou, and I think
is there
they find
any
a way
scenario
in.
where Mizzou and SLU go head to head in the first 4?
I would have said a few weeks ago no, but I say it's not impossible, and especially for those games which are usually pretty dull and they don't pull a very good number, certainly something that would bring a lot of eyeballs, especially in the Midwest, to the TV, is if Mizzou plays SLU. And wouldn't that be wild if they're playing in Dayton for a chance to punch their ticket to the full field? I don't think it happens, but yeah, Heidi, I'd say the odds of that happening have gotten better. Yeah, the last few days.
So crazy.
Yep.
Blues winning their 4th straight. It's probably not enough, but it's fun.
It is fun. I've seen a lot of Blues fans. The reaction this weekend, wouldn't you know it, here come the Blues when you already start to sell and you'd like your odds of getting a good draft pick to be good. So, I mean, much like last season, they have to thread the needle here over the next couple of months to make the playoffs. And that is not going to be easy to do. But they certainly look like a different team the last few days. And maybe it's simply getting the weight of the trade deadline pressure off of your shoulders, too. That's now in the books, and you can just concentrate on playing hockey the next few weeks.
Here's my theory I posed to Bob and Heidi earlier. The Blues did not dump. They got rid of some pieces. Some teams dumped everything, and they're out. And some teams who are already good, who there's no chance of catching, they just increased their squads. So maybe we can slide into that last spot because so many other teams have already kind of given up.
Maybe. I still think when you trade your captain, that's a sign of we're not going to win. And it's a pretty distinct signal where where management doesn't think you're going to win. And I think management secretly would love to see them struggle so they could get a better draft pick in the summer. However, we also know how much the gate for Stanley Cup playoff games matter. Like, that money matters. So I think by the same token, the Blues want as many playoff games as they could possibly get. So it is it's sort of splitting hairs here, but at the end of the day, over the last week and a half, they look like a different team.
Yeah. It looks like on the flip side of that, the Chiefs are putting a little money behind things. They just signed Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker.
Signing with the Chiefs, and Travis Kelce, it looks like, coming back as well.
Which is also exciting.
I guess if you're a Chiefs fan and you're a St. Louis native or living in St. Louis and you're a Chiefs fan, I know there's some of those people.
I'm one of
those people, Heidi. I think there's a lot of folks that wanted to see the Chiefs draft the former CBC cadet, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Jeremiah Love. I think this move today probably precludes that from happening.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense, and I didn't even put two and two together on that one because they were saying, I mean, a lot of projections were seeing Jeremiah come to Kansas City.
A lot of folks had that. So my guess is that's less likely to happen now, although not definitive. We'll see. But I think the fact that Travis Kelce is back, Chiefs trying to give it one more run with that main offensive group, and to bring in a running back that won the Super Bowl MVP is pretty encouraging too.
Yeah. What's coming up tonight?
We've got Soccer in the Lou at 7:00. We've got the Valley and the Big 550 to tie this weekend together coming up at 8.
All right. We will be listening. Thanks,
Brendan. Heidi. Thanks, Josh.
You've had all these great ideas about what to do with your outside space. Now's the time to take the next step and call Outdoor Living, because Pat Leahy and the gang at Outdoor Living have built a showroom, which is a great resource for you. You can go in and see all the products they have, the composite decking, the metal framing. You see, at Outdoor Living, what they pride themselves on is building it right the first time and never having to worry about it again. So they build it. You can enjoy it for the rest of your life. Outdoor Living, their showroom on Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood, is a great resource for you. You can go and see all the different ways and all the different things they can do. Then they'll come out, they'll do a site visit, and in just a few short weeks, you will have the dream deck, fence, gazebo, pergola, whatever it may be. Outdoor Living, right there in Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. 314-966-3325 or OutdoorLivingInc.com. Check out the showroom and take that next step. You'll love it. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Kick off the season with a winning team. Choose Hackett Security to watch your home while you're watching the game. Hackett Security has a system to meet every budget. They are a locally owned national security company with on-site 24/7 UL-listed monitoring. Visit HackettSecurity.com or call 314-432-4200. Who will be watching your home while you're watching the game? Hackett Security. They're looking out for you. 314-432-4200. HACKETT Security.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. please visit CantorInjuryLaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Truck drivers, your comfort matters. And at Schneider, we're here to make every mile better. Drivers at Schneider use newer, more reliable equipment that's spec'd with safety features and amenities that keep them comfortable any time of year. Plus, while you're out on the road, Schneider's nationwide facility network offers secure parking and the comfort of a home away from home to make your life easier. Upgrade to a better driving job with better equipment. Find jobs near you and apply at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Ray's Tree Service wants to remind you not to forget about your trees this winter. The spring storms will be here before we know it, and if those trees go untreated, you could have a real mess on your hands. Caring for your trees now will help promote better airflow and light penetration, which can enhance your tree, lawn, and landscape health. Call Ray's Tree Service at 314-821-2665 for a free estimate with one of our qualified arborists, or online at raystreeservice.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's squeeze in a little entertainment news. Did you see this story about Rihanna's home? Approximately 10 shots were fired at her home yesterday afternoon. She was actually inside. Thankfully, no one was injured, and a female suspect, Ivana Ortiz, a 35-year-old woman, was taken into custody, booked on suspicion of attempted murder.
Oh, my goodness.
Super scary there. Pixar says a third Monsters, Inc. movie is in early development. Also, a third Incredibles set for 2028, and Coco sequel in 2029. I thought you loved Coco. Did you not?
Coco is so good. I'd hate for them to ruin it with something more. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
But there's a fifth Toy Story, which we saw those previews on Friday. We took Finn to go see Hoppers.
Yeah.
At the theater. So, I mean, if they can keep cranking out Toy Story movies, those are still pretty fun.
Yeah, I think so too.
Monsters, Inc.
Yes.
Has a new roller coaster that's coming to Disney. And they just showed really brief pictures of it.
You can't wait.
It's going to be so cool.
Well, if Nicole Kidman's acting career ever fades, she can always become a medical examiner. During an appearance on The Tonight Show, she shared that she knows how to perform an autopsy. She went method in order to properly portray the forensic pathologist, Dr. Kay Scarpetta, in the Prime series Scarpetta. She said that learning about the human body was part of her job as an actress, and she studied with a medical examiner. She said that she can remove all the organs, and she can also name them all.
Oh, my goodness.
Scarpetta premieres this Wednesday on Prime Video. The cast is pretty intense. It looks good.
Oh, my goodness. Remember that scene in Silence of the Lambs? Where they had to rub that stuff under their nose because it smelled so bad in there?
Yes. Ugh. Game of Thrones theatrical movie is also in the works. It's being envisioned as a mammoth Dune-sized feature film. The idea of a Thrones movie has been kicked around as early as 2013 when the original series showrunners pitched HBO on the potential of ending it with 3 feature films, kind of like Lord of the Rings, but HBO balked at the idea, preferring instead to stay focused on their core subscription business.
You know, it's interesting. Again, we saw trailers for The Mandalorian.
Yes.
That's the Baby Yoda. The TV show and the movie, just the quality is just, it's night and day.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
you
pretty
realize
crazy.
What a little bit of extra money, like $80 to $100 million more will get you.
A lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot. If you watch the new CBS spinoff Marshalls, which apparently no one likes, you might have seen a familiar face. Riley Green played a troubled former Navy SEAL. The country singer says it was a big learning curve, and he said that he was glad that everyone was patient with him. One of his duet partners, Ella Langley, says one of her big goals is to act in a horror movie.
Horror movie?
She said she really wants to do something old school and spooky. So we'll see if,
She seems fun.
She does seem fun.
Spunky.
And, she and Megan Maroney, whose third studio album, Cloud 9, just debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. It means that basically both of them are making country music history. You've got Megan's album at number 1 on the Billboard 200. Ella's song, Choosing Texas, at number 1 on the Hot 100. It's the first time 2 female country artists have topped both charts at the same time, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Harry Styles crashed Ryan Gosling's monologue on Saturday Night Live a week before he is set to host, which was kind of fun. And then if you're looking for something to watch tonight, you got American Idol, you got The Voice, you've got the 23rd season premiere of Top Chef on Bravo, and then Christina Applegate is on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen on Bravo following that. Couple of birthdays. Brittany Snow, the Hunting Wives, is 40. Emmanuel Lewis, also known as Webster, is 55.
Is he still around?
Yeah. And then you've got Charles Gibson, former host of Good Morning America, ABC's World News Tonight. He is 83 today. That is your evening entertainment report here on the Big 550 KTRS. We were talking books a little earlier, and I don't know about you, but anytime I schedule a vacation, a book is one of the first things that I want to go grab, whether it's for the flight or if we're going to be kind of on a beach relaxing. But Altair Travel and Cruises has so many great options when it comes to travel. Now, you can travel with me in October because time is running out to sign up for that. March 25th is when we're trying to get as many of us signed up as possible, because then they got to open it up to other kind of agencies. But this way we all stick together as a St. Louis unit. But if Iceland isn't on your bucket list, although it should be because we're going to have a whole lot of fun, maybe it's a cruise to Alaska. Maybe it's a river cruise, because that is a great way to see Europe. Maybe you're dying to go to Italy. I'm going to do that one of these days too. And I will turn to Altair because they handle everything. They can help you with the hotel, with the flight. And trust me, you're going to need that now more than ever, especially as prices go up on gas at our cars. Think about what that's going to mean for air travel and gas prices. So you really want to reach out to Altair Travel and Cruises to make the most of your next trip. They will help you plan all of it. 314-968-9600. 314-968-9600. And a special shout out because Haley, the VP, just birthed baby number 2.
All
and
right.
she is beautiful. Congratulations to her grandmother, Angie, too. I mean, the whole family. The baby, and of course, big brother, JR, is just as happy as can be. So congratulations to our friends over at Altair Travel. 7 minutes before 6 o'clock. Captain Paul, how's traffic?
Heidi, they are still working to clear a crash on the 255 West on-ramp from Lemay Ferry. Excuse me, there's debris on 141 South past Merrimack Station in Fenton. The signals are on flash on 64 East at Maryville Center and at 64 West and North 40 Drive. And this traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
I've been asked to say a word about Allen Roofing. That's not fair. I can't say it in a word. If they just did roofs, I probably could. I would say roofs. But they can do siding. They could replace it. They could put leaf guards on. They could reattach it like they had to do for me, where my gutter kind of came away from the house. Siding issues, they carry James Hardy, the very best. They can fix that too. Basically, if it's something you could see from the outside of your home or your office, they can fix it, improve it, or replace it. Look, it's probably the biggest investment you're ever going to make. Protect it. Absolutely, and nobody does it better than Allen Roofing. Check out all the reviews online. Everybody else seems to know. I shouldn't have to tell you these things. For all of your roofing needs and so much more, Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
With over 30 years of experience in top-quality senior living, McKnight Place Assisted Living knows how to help its residents live fulfilling lives. The professional staff gets to know all residents and their families. McKnight Place Assisted Living has become known for its high-quality amenities, personalized services, and expert care. But its history of making people a priority is what really sets it apart from many other senior communities. That starts with the residents and extends to their loved ones. 314-993-3333 or visit them at mcknightplace.com.
When you go and get your car washed, do you really care which car wash you go to? Yes, because not all car washes are created equal. Country Club Car Wash is the local family-owned and family-operated car wash since 1989. All these other ones that are popping up, they're all run by out-of-town hedge funds. Keep it local, keep it great. Touchless car washes, no brushes, inside and out. 5 area locations, Country Club Car Wash, or cccwstl.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's wrap this show up with a couple randoms.
Tug of war was a summer Olympic sport from 1900 through 1920.
Yeah.
You can see pictures at the History Museum.
Sure can.
Of the St. Louis Olympics. And Miami is the only major American city that was founded by a woman.
Really?
Her name is Julia Tuttle, and she owned a citrus company, 1896. By the turn of the century, here are the top 5 cities in Florida: Jacksonville, Pensacola, Key West, Tampa, and St. Augustine. Miami didn't boom until the 1920s.
Isn't that interesting?
When its population tripled in 4 years.
Wow. Well, you guys, thanks for hanging out with us on this Monday afternoon, a beautiful Monday afternoon. I hope you learned a little something, maybe giggled once or twice, but we really appreciate you being here. And hopefully you'll be back here starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
Whatever gets you through the night.
The Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament has been the showcase for buzzer beaters, madness, and championship glory. With nearly 5 decades of heart-racing excitement, it begins here at Enterprise Center. The 2026 State Farm MVC Tournament, presented by Credit Union One, Great Southern Bank, and SSM Health, tips off on March 5th through 8th. Celebrate 50 years of the Valley's postseason championship. Get your tickets now at archmadness.com.
Spring into green with Seidenstricker Nobe Partners. For a limited time, we have 0% financing for 84 months or up to $3,000 cash off on John Deere 1, 2, and 3E Series compact tractors. You choose the offer that fits your plan and we'll deliver it for free. Visit snpartners.com or one of our Missouri or Illinois John Deere locations. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 4/30/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call me, Lance Drury, in St. Louis at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs. like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy.